Thursday, we always have a guest who are going to come here in the studio and share, much of what they're doing, because Thursday are always, themed as a spiritual Thursdays, where we're going to have pastors, sangomas coming here in the studio. But today we're going to be joined by a pastor. So a pastor is going to be sharing much information, because we know that pastors are community leaders. So anything that you need to know spiritually about how to align yourself, especially in these difficult times, because a lot of people are having spiritual difficulties. So what you need to do is to stay tuned, because we've got more for you. And then the hashtag to use is hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Of course, that's what we do right here. Bangani Bami, Bafitu, right here in the heart of Soweto, which is Johannesburg and Dobsonville. So, without wasting any time, you know that whenever you see me, I fix your itinerary and your bucket list for this year, because we know that it is very important for us to travel with our families, with our friends, to enjoy, landscapes and scenic views that our country has to offer. So what I'm gonna do right now is to quickly go and give you your picture of the day and the background information about it. What I need you to do is to stay tuned, grab a cup of coffee, because when we come back, we're getting straight into the matters of today. So let's get to the quick break.
Hey family.
Hi.
My name is Tisiga Mazibugo Shabalala.
My name is Moketi Maimani.
My name is Musi Miss.
My name is Ketsu Mgunu.
On the Vooka
Breakfast Show.
Every weekdays from 7 a.m.
to 10 a.m.
This is where we are going to have our topical discussion featuring various experts from different fields.
We're going to take care of you, and it's going to be amazing, man. Right now I'm on the set of the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blink-On Network.
Do not forget to subscribe.
That's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms.
Vooka.
See you there.
All right, once again, good morning. As promised, that I'm going to be coming here and, fixing those bucket lists. We know that a lot of people, are determined in traveling in different tourist attractions right here in Mzansi. So, that every time when you see me, every morning, I am standing in front of a picture, that you can expect. And obviously, you've been asking yourself some questions that, okay, I've seen you, doing some Gold Reef City, some Saibono. Today, what do you have for us? So you can quickly take a guess there by using hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. But let me not waste any more of your time. So behind me, we have the Hartebees Dam, right? The Hartebees Dam is a popular tourist attraction. A lot of people go there for different reasons. So if you want, some activities that you want to do, you can go to their activity hub, where they offer so much information in detail and packages that they offer to you as a tourist or to you as an individual who want to explore scenic views right there. So with me here, I have some background information that I want to go through with you, just to get a background of the Hartebees spot. A lot of people go there for their year-end function, birthday parties, even people who are in Stockfells nowadays, that definitely, getting those trips, those packages, and getting themselves into the Hartebees spot. So what is the background information about the Hartebees spot? So here it says it is a popular tourist destination in South Africa, offering various activities and attractions to visitors. One of the main attractions is the Hartebees Cable Way, which offers panoramic views of the beautiful Magaliesberg Hartebees Sport Dam and the surrounding areas. Visitors can also take a scenic drive around the dam and over the dam. If you are a nature fanatic, this is the place to go. If you want to experience the environment of nature, the atmosphere that it has to offer to you as someone who is visiting there, Hartebees Sport is the attraction for you to visit. So additionally, there are various water activities that one can do on the dam, such as boating, fishing. Visitors can also visit the Bush Baby Monkey Sanctuary, right? Where they can take a guided tour and walk around sanctuary to observe the monkeys in their natural habitat. So, in addition to the ones that we've spoken about, the attraction visitors can also enjoy good food. You know, what is a tourist attraction without good food? Definitely, good food is available right there at the venue. Also, great memories that you can share and cherish with your family and friends is what we always do whenever we go out, you know, to celebrate such, you know, whatever that we're going through in our lives. So a day will be filled with so much activities, and also they have rounded up most popular activities in Harties and now can offer them to you at a reduced rate. Reduced rate, what do I mean about that? So from 1,845 per person, that is a package that you can enjoy. And what does that 1,845 include? It includes Harties boat cruise. We know some of us have never been to boat cruises, so this is an opportunity for you, man, you know, to go there and enjoy the boat cruise that the Hartbees Sport has to offer. And also horse riding. We know that some of us are not familiar with horse riding. We always say only white people do horse riding. Who said that, man? Because you can do it right there at a very reduced rate. And another one is quad biking combo. So those are some of the activities that you can find yourself doing right there at the Hartbees Sport Dam. So just let me know, man, if you've never been there and if you've never heard of some of the activities that they have added on the activity hub. So the simple thing that you can do, just go on Google, search Hartbees Sport Dam, and then that information will be shared to you so that you can know more and explore what it has to offer. So I can't wait to hear from you guys right there. Whoever is watching from home, just let me know, man, if you've been to the Harties. Do you give them a yay or a nay? Definitely is what we do right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, giving you your favorite picture of the day. Obviously, tomorrow morning, I'm going to come again with a surprise just to make sure that your bucket list for traveling this year is filled up. So stay tuned for more, because we're going to be bringing you a lot of things, content unpacked right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. What I want to do is to take a short break, and then when you come back, we're going to be giving you your sports headlines and of course your traffic headlines, just to make sure that you stay safe on those roads. Right now, let's get you prepped with your weather update.
Vooka Breakfast Show.
We're out here in the heart of Soweto, Top Santon. This is right next to Zondi Hills, and just before you get to Broad Fisher Club. I'm out here. My name is Musi Nest. I'm out here with the one and only Maximum Temperature. I'm working my TC Shabalala Wakamazibugo, and of course our station manager, the one and only Panele Lyric. And we're dropping out here, man. This is what we do on the Vooka Breakfast Show.
Yeah, you gotta get it fresh.
Bugile, we are fresh and nice. Now it's time to take the information to the people.
Of course, like Mo just mentioned, do stay tuned, comment, like, subscribe, share your thoughts and your opinions and everything else in between. We're going to be coming to a street to do live near you, wanting to know what your thoughts are out there on the streets.
Of course, we've got TCO Wamazibugo with the traffic update. Right now, we are going to N1 southbound to make sure that whatever that you guys get, it is real-time information.
Yes, sir.
So, looking at Mukhorosi, we have robots that are not working right here, but the traffic is moving. We're going to look at when is your rush hour time, when people are from the work, away from school,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes,
Gonna
sir.
give you your daily update. So do make sure that you stay with us. Mobile Vooka Breakfast
Yes,
Show.
sir.
All right, as promised, these are your sports news. On the first headline, Postecoglou hopes Pochettino gets Spurs in return. Mauricio Pochettino, now managing the U.S. national team, expressed a desire to return to Spurs, where he remains a fan favorite after past successes. Enge Postecoglou, Spurs' current coach, faces uncertainty as the club sits at 14th in the Premier League. Pochettino, under pressure after U.S. losses, was hired to build momentum for the 2026 World Cup. Spurs would face a high cost to lure Pochettino back, given his €4.6 million a year contract until 2026. Tottenham next faces Chelsea, while Postecoglou's future hangs in the balance amid Spurs' struggles. On the next headline, Barcelona lack finances to register Olmo in La Liga. Barcelona temporary registration for Olmo and Victor were revoked by La Liga in January due to financial rule non-compliance, but reinstated by Spain's Sports Council, the CSD, pending a final ruling on April 7th. Barcelona aims to raise €100 million by selling VIP boxes at the new camp, but did not include the deal in accounts for the 2024-2025 season. Almost signed for RB Leipzig for €52 million and has made 28 appearances this season, while Victor has played 22 times. Barcelona sits atop of La Liga and is in the Champions League quarter-finals. Stellenbosch and Zamalek draw blanks in CAF Confederations Cup quarter-final first leg. Stellenbosch and Zamalek drew 0-0 in the CAF Confederation Cup quarter-final first leg. Stellenbosch dominated early possession but struggled to create clear chances, with Zamalek gaining momentum later. Goalkeepers Mohamed Musa and Sah Stephens made key saves to maintain the deadlock. Despite half chances from Andre de Jong and Mustafa Shalabi, neither side found the net. Stellenbosch now heads to Egypt for the second leg, hoping to secure a semi-final spot with a strong defensive display. This tie remains balanced. Heading on to your rugby news, Bulls preparing for knockout rugby at business end of the season. The Bulls face a challenging 8 weeks as the United Rugby Championship and Challenge Cup reach their climax. The tour begins with a Challenge Cup round of 16 match against Bayonne in France, followed by URC top table clashes with Munster and Glasgow. If victorious against Bayonne, a Challenge Cup quarterfinal awaits, along with a URC clash against Cardiff a week later. Bulls speedster Devon Williams emphasized the team's commitment to knockout rugby mode as they aim to compete successfully in both competition. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more sports and news updates throughout the show. Don't forget to share your thoughts on these headlines with us on social media using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Now let's get you prepped with your latest traffic update with the TC Wakamazibu.
Grand Rising Mzansi. I hope you are still staying tuned with us and staying safe on the roads. Here is your latest traffic update. There is a stationary vehicle on the N3 northbound near the Geldernees interchange, right at the ramp leading to the M2. One of the 3 lanes is currently closed. There's an incident on the N3 northbound just past the London Road ramp leading to the London Road M54. 1 lane out of 5 is closed. There is also another traffic incident on the N3 northbound just beyond the London Road ramp coming from the Marlborough Drive M60. Drivers should exercise caution and expect potential delays in the area. Roadworks are taking place on the R21 southbound just past the R25 Bapsfontein Road ramp leading to the NGN Highveld 1 stop. 1 out of the 4 lanes is currently closed. There's also a stationary vehicle on the N1 northbound just past the Allendale Road ramp coming from the Allendale Road M339 East. All right, that's all for now for your Vooka traffic. Let's get back to what promises to be an epic show.
Hey family,
Hi.
My name is Tisiga Mazbugo Shabalala.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
my name is Musi Miss
My name is Ketuake Tumgunyo.
on the Vooka
Vooka Breakfast Show.
Every weekdays from 7 a.m.
to 10 a.m.
This is where we are going to have our topical discussion featuring various experts from different fields.
We're going to take care of you and it's going to be amazing, man. Right now I'm on the set of the Vooka Breakfast Show brought to you by the Blink-On Network.
Do not forget to subscribe.
That's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms.
Vooka.
See you there.
There we go. Mavuga Amash.
Hey friends, come along with the Vooka team as time is spent
at the Vision Board and Pizza event out at Curiosity in Maboning.
aimed at promoting positivity, creativity that breeds longevity.
Enjoy tasks like silent reading,
Vision boarding and live performances.
Vooka Breakfast Show brings you all things great and amazing with Sacred Sundays
In collaboration with Mwari Pizza for Vision Board and Pizza.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry about that, man. Sorry about that. You know, I was just enjoying the beautiful ad, man, because you never go wrong with Mwari Pizza, man. Yeah. And of course, when it comes to Mwari Pizza Curiosity, you guys host the events right there, ne?
You're right.
Man.
It's an amazing space, cultural. So it's a space where arts, culture, and inner city lifestyle comes together, and you can go there to enjoy, tours. If you want to, explore the inner city better, get to know, they also offer tours to Soweto.
Yeah.
So I mean, they can come and see us right here in the Vooka Breakfast Show studio. It's definitely something we can look into. But it's definitely a space that I know I love going to, because the community there, man, the human connection. We are human. That is one thing that you need to know. A message that is quite clear from Mwari Pizza, because, that's where we go to just get a slice of life.
Yes, definitely.
Slice of life.
Yeah.
It's Friday, guys. What's happening?
Friday. Woo.
Oh my word, it's not Friday. Wait, it's not Friday. Oh my God. It's okay.
Wow.
It's fake Friday.
Wow.
It's almost Friday, guys.
Yeah.
Quarter to Friday.
I don't blame you, man, because I also feel like it is a Friday, man. A beautiful Friday morning. But yeah, guys, once again, a very good morning to you. You are watching the Vooka Breakfast Show, what promises you to become your energetic start of the day. Located in the heart of Johannesburg, it is Soweto, Dobsonville. That is where we are streaming live. So what I want you to do right now is to use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Join the live. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. We know that we theme our days. So today we are aligning ourselves with God, with ancestors, with anything that needs to make our lives better. So I can see Mr. Hector is right there. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, top of the morning. Happy Thursday, guys. Man, it was wonderful because I met Mr. Hector day before yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
it was
Hector,
nice.
me, I also want to meet you. It's like everybody's meeting you, Hector. I also want to see you, buddy.
It's nice, man. It's nice because I think it's my first experience, meeting someone who's always engaging with us. Now having to see them live and say, wow, man, like I really appreciate what you're doing for us because, man, right here in Soweto, we are trying by all means to make sure that we bring the information that a lot of people are missing. So definitely do not miss out, man. Do not miss out. Each and every weekdays from 7 a.m. up until 10 a.m. By the way, sorry we couldn't stream yesterday. We had electricity issues, guys. Eskom will never cease to amaze you by not getting out of your nerves, man.
Getting on your nerves.
Getting on your nerves. Yes, man. So yeah, yesterday, guys, we couldn't stream. It's not like no, guys, we were here. We're waiting for the electricity to come back, but unfortunately we couldn't. But now we are back. We raised the matters to Eskom. They're like, oh, guys, sorry, man. Hey, Vooka, we see you. So definitely going to bring back the electricity back to you so that you guys can continue the amazing work that you're doing here. Of course, with the Vooka team right here. TC, it's a beautiful morning, man. How are you feeling, man?
I am feeling energized. I even thought it's Friday. That's how energized I feel. Yeah. Definitely, it's something that I would love for. I mean, I feel good. Well, how are you?
Ad break. Okay. Ish. All right. Right now, what we're gonna do is to take a short break because we can see that there's some cuts. But stay tuned, guys. Do not go anywhere.
Short lost memory. Yes. Wow.
All right, back as promised, man. Obviously, for people who are just watching, I see there are 5 people right there in my stream. We just want to confirm if there's no any buffering, so that we can give you quality content. You can just quickly, comment down below and tell us that no more, everything is fine. We can hear you, we can see you right there at the studio, and our ads that are playing, we can definitely hear them. So do make sure that you stay with us until the end of the show, because today we're going to be joined by 2 guests. Obviously they have to be doing something, and you want to know what is it that they're doing. So the first one is going to be Kafula. He's a gym instructor. So, of course, man, when it comes to health and fitness, if you want to know more about fitness, Kafu is the right person to ask. Also a gym instructor, maybe he might be owning a gym that you want to go to. Yours with your family, with your friends. I don't know why I like to say family. Would you go to a
the gym with your family?
Like, hey, guys, that's Fugen Pela.
I mean, there's clubs for running. There's clubs for cycling. So I guess if you wanna, maybe introduce something like health and fitness into your family, you can get them involved. I mean, sometimes some people don't have friends, so then your family is the next best thing that you have. So
sharing the closest things that you guys can wake up to, like just going to the gym, doing yoga, things like that. So Kafula is going to be here with us, joining here and having a conversation, of course, man, about everything that has to do with gym and how to keep fit in your daily basis. And the next one, as you know that Thursdays, we always have your pastors, whether you're a sangoma, a prophet, a prophetess. Thursday, it is the day where we actually invite them. Yes, Thursday is a specific day, but they can come on some other days if they have to share most important information that you guys can use. So, Dr. Mandle Silo, who is a pastor, is going to be joining us.
Wow.
Obviously, you're going to be sharing that word of word of wisdom, right?
Spirituality.
Spiritual wisdom, man. Today we're going to be closer to God. We know we've been far from God. You know yourself if you're watching. You've been far from God, my child. Come back. You've been far from God. Today is the time for you to come back, right? And then Hector comes back. Armo, we needed you yesterday, as always. You say you're the generator. Hotman doesn't.
Never never misses with that generator
Like
one.
it doesn't miss because now I'm under pressure. As I'm saying, I'm the generator, but now we don't go live when there's no electricity. Can't tell what kind of a generator are you, my guy? I'm under pressure now. So I always have to be stressed when there's no electricity because I have to come. I have to kick in. Kick in. Power supply and faith. But yeah, I'm back, man. I did the things that needed to be done. The generator, spoke to Eskom, right? They go Twitter. Hey, Eskom, come on, my man. Come on, my man. You need to do the right things. And then he's coming back. TC will get a chance to meet you, guy. Big up, guys. Big up. Or you will get a chance to meet Hector. You will definitely.
Okay,
yeah, because he said, I think last week Friday, he passed here and then he only met Dumsani. Here's the student. But, we were already gone home. So he passed on right here. So I was like, hey, man, it was going to be nice to actually meet him here. Right? So definitely, man, looking forward to meet everyone who engages with us right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. So what you can do is to use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. I am just going to see your name right here because Mr. Hector is our beautiful resident, man. He's here with us. Thank you so much for being with us, Mr. Hector, and we appreciate that engagement. To anyone who's also watching, do make sure that you share the live, subscribe, press the notification button so that whenever we go live, you will be notified that the Vooka Breakfast team is now live and ready to bring you that epic morning show. And also on Facebook, we have Vooka Breakfast Show. Do make sure to follow us and comment down below, man, on anything that has to do, because when you follow our socials, you will know what we get up to, who we have tomorrow, who we had yesterday. So definitely do make sure that you do that. Also on TikTok, it's Vooka Breakfast Show, Instagram, Vooka Breakfast Show, and on X, it's Vooka Daily. If I'm not mistaken, it's at Vooka Daily. Do go there, follow us because definitely we've got more coming. And then Misho Pelbaloye, hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Good morning. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. So
Sivugile, guys. Sivugile. Also important. Guys, the Vooka Breakfast Show will be broadcasting live from the Rand Show again. So we will be at the Rand Show at the Nasrec Expo Center. So you guys should be tuning in to the Vooka Breakfast Show from the 7th to the 11th in order to win yourself, stand a chance at least, to win yourself 2 tickets to the Rand Show for you and a loved one. So from the 7th to the 11th, we will be giving away 2 tickets daily, guys, not just 2 tickets for the whole week. No, every day we are looking to give someone 2 tickets to the Rand Show. So guys, tune in and engage with us. Don't forget, it's hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Vooka spelled with VOOKA Breakfast Show, and engage with us.
Sivugile. Exciting things that we have for you. Of course, no one wants to miss the Rand Show, guys. Heading on to the Easter weekend, we know people will be traveling, and for you who will be right here with us around Johannesburg and Gauteng, do make sure that you watch Vooka Breakfast Show daily so that you will know when the competition starts, so that you can get yourself and win yourself tickets to the Rand Show, man. You wouldn't want to miss the Rand Show, I promise you. And also do make sure that you let people know that we will be streaming live. As TC said, we will be there as the team, getting much information that you need and delivering it right at the front of your door, live broadcasting. I'm not talking about shooting and editing. No, we will be live broadcasting. So anything that you will want to know, you will know it right at that moment. So hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show is the hashtag to use. Of course, it's a Thursday morning. Some people haven't got that motivation to wake up. Hey, but today, man, I woke up to a very beautiful motivation. Do you know Alan Watts?
Alan Watts.
Yeah, man.
The name sounds familiar. I know of Alan Watts, yes.
Yeah. So Alan Watts is this guy, man. He's an author, motivator, and he is a speaker, So he spoke about how other people, try to understand life while they have to feel life. You know, so life doesn't need to be understood. You need to feel it. It's like a wave, and you don't need to carry the wave. Just let it flow, right? So some of the things can't define who you are, like your past. You know, your past is your experience. You need to grow out of it. So we have seen some other people defining themselves with their past. So today, this morning, do not do that, man. It is an inspiration and a motivation for you, of course, right there, you know, to always, get the waves going, man. Feel the life. You know, there's love. There's so many things that you can do. You know, also embrace happiness. Little happiness that you get, embrace it because it might be something that you needed. So, yes, definitely, man. We know that we've got so much packed for you right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. So as I promised, we'll be joined by two guests. What I need you to do is to prepare your notebook, prepare everything that you need to jot down the tips that are going to be shared right here. But of course, it's technology. You can always rewind and watch the interview. You know, it's not going away after we stop streaming. It's going to be there for a repeat for you to watch. So of course, it is a Thursday. We're going to be looking at what is happening today. Significant, history moments that have taken place at this day. It is something that I'm going to share with you. And of course, our word of the day. And we're practicing what we call idioms. Right?
Idioms.
I've been struggling with the, what do you call them?
The idioms.
No, the pronunciation. Yeah. So with me, man, I've always wanted to learn other people's language. So I would do these accents, especially, the Zimbabweans, because every time when they speak, you understand. So now when you get a difficult word for you to pronounce, yes. but I love mispronouncing words, man.
I see that. That's why I always say on this show, guys, if you are a daily watcher like Hector of the Vooka Breakfast Show, you will know that between Mo and Musi, when it comes to word of the day and pronunciation, please, guys, sometimes take heed. Mo will mislead you.
I'm the teacher.
No, obdurate. He will say it's abjurate. He will give you his own little twist. I call it the Mo twist. But of course, right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, we aim to elevate your spoken language, the English language that we use to communicate. So your word, your vocabulary. We want you guys to use better language when communicating with each other. So we all, whenever we are in the spaces that require us to speak eloquently, that we are able to elevate and speak so that we are, we are heard, and able to articulate ourselves very well. So, do stay tuned and catch that word of the day, and obviously the idioms that we have now introduced into word of the day, just to, shake it up a little bit, make it more interesting for you.
Shake it up, make it interesting is what we do right here on the Epic Morning Show, where we bring you interesting things. So right now it's 8 o'clock on the dot, and as promised, because we didn't give you your latest news headline, what I'm gonna do is to take a short break and give you your latest weather update, and then when we come back, that is when we're going to give you your latest news headline. So stay tuned.
Vooka Breakfast Show.
We're out here in the heart of Soweto, Top Santon. This is right next to Zondi Hills and just before you get to Broad Fisher Club. I'm out here, my name is Musi Mest. I'm out here with the one and only maximum temperature. I'm working my man. TC Sebanana Wakamazibugo, and of course our station manager, the one and only Banele Lyric. And we're traveling out here, man. This is what we do on the Vooka Breakfast Show.
Yeah, you gotta get it fresh.
Bugile, we are fresh and nice. Now it's time to take the information to the people.
Of course, like Mo just mentioned, do stay tuned, comment, like, subscribe, share your thoughts and your opinions and everything else in between. We're going to be coming to a street to do live near you, wanting to know what your thoughts are out there on the street.
First, we've got TCO Wamazibugo with the traffic update. Right now, we are going to N1 southbound to make sure that whatever that you guys get, it is real-time information.
Yes,
so, looking at Mukhorosi, we have robots that are not working right here, but the traffic is moving. We're going to look at when is your rush hour time, when people are from the work, from school,
yes,
right?
Sir. Yes,
Gonna
sir.
give you your daily update. So do make sure that you stay with us. Mobile Vooka Breakfast
Yes,
Show.
sir.
All right, here are your top of the hour news. On the first headline, people playing political games around VAT. Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana criticized the political games surrounding VAT issues, emphasizing that VAT is paid by the three highest income categories. Despite opposition from DA, Parliament approved the 2025 budget, which includes a controversial half percentage point VAT increase. Godongwana assured measures to protect the poor, such as zero-rated food items. ANC Chief Whip Ndumiseni Ntuli dismissed the DA's demands as unreasonable and beyond the budget's scope. On the next headline, Bergview College to remain open. The Eastern Cape Education MEC Fundile Kade has decided to keep Bergview College in Matatiele open after initially planning its closure over the handling of a rape case involving a 7-year-old Papel Twetwe. The school filed a court application to halt the closure, revealing that police are investigating multiple suspects, including 2 taxi drivers, a janitor, and a family member. The reversal follows consultation and legal proceedings. The next headline, DRC peace is elusive amid regional tension as a scramble for resources. The Democratic Republic of Congo faces persistent conflict as M23 rebels backed by Rwanda capture strategic cities and displace millions. Root cause include M23 grievances of marginalization, external interference since the Rwandan genocide, and international economic interest tied to mineral wealth. Despite recent peace talks between DRC and Rwandan leaders calling for a ceasefire, challenges remain. Ongoing dialogue and addressing ethnic discrimination, armed groups, and exploitation are essential for stability. Sanctions against rebel-linked individuals have proven ineffective, sometimes worsening conflict. Only inclusive peace efforts can end the cycle of violence and resource-driven instability in the Eastern DRC. That's all for your news headline. Now, giving you your sports headlines recap. On the first one, Postecoglou hopes Pochettino gets Spurs return. Mauricio Pochettino, now managing the US national team, expressed a desire to return to Spurs, where he remains a fan favorite after past successes. Ange Postecoglou, Spurs current coach, faces uncertainty at the club, which sits at 14th in the Premier League. Pochettino, under pressure after US loses, was hired to build momentum for the 2026 World Cup. Spurs would face a high cost to lure Pochettino back, given his €4.6 million a year contract until 2026. Tottenham next faces Chelsea, while Postecoglou's future hangs in the balance amid Spurs' struggles. The next one, Barcelona lack finances to register Olmo in La Liga. Barcelona's temporary registration of Olmo and Victor were revoked by La Liga in January due to financial rule non-compliance, but reinstated by Spain's Sports Council, the CSD, pending a final ruling on April 7th. Barcelona aims to raise £100 million by selling VIP boxes at the new camp, but did not include the deal in accounts for the 2024-2025 season. Olmo signed signed from Red Bull Leipzig for £52 million, has made 28 appearances this season, while Victor has played 22 times. Barcelona sits top of La Liga and is in the Champions League quarter-final. Stellenbosch and Zamalek draw blank in a CAF Confederation Cup quarter-final first leg. Stellenbosch and Zamalek drew 0-0 in the CAF Confederation Cup quarter-final first leg. Stellenbosch dominated early possession but struggled to create clear chances, with Zamalek gaining momentum later. Goalkeepers Mohamed Musa and Sage Stephens made key saves to maintain the deadlock. Despite half chances from Andre de Jong and Mustafa Shalabi, neither side found the net. Stellenbosch now heads to Egypt for the second leg, hoping to secure a semi-final spot with a strong defensive display. The tie remains balanced. On rugby news, the Bulls are preparing for knockout rugby at business and at the end of the season. The Bulls face a challenging 8 weeks as the United Rugby Championship and the Challenge Cup reach their climax. Their tour begins with the Challenge Cup round of 16 match against Bayonne in France, followed by URC top table clashes with Munster and Glasgow. If victorious against Bayonne, a Challenge Cup quarter-final awaits, along with a URC clash against Cardiff a week later. Bull speedster Devon Williams emphasized the team's commitment to knockout rugby mode as they aim to compete successfully in both competitions. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more sports and news updates throughout the show. Don't forget to share your thoughts on these headlines with us using the social media hashtag, which is the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Now let's get back to our epic morning show.
Friends, come along with the Vooka team as time is spent
at the Vision Board and Pizza event out at Curiosity in Maboning,
aimed at promoting positivity, creativity that breeds longevity.
Enjoy tasks like silent reading,
vision boarding, and live performances.
Vooka Breakfast Show brings you all things great and amazing with Sacred Sundays
in collaboration with Mwari Pizza for Vision Board and Pizza.
Right, once again, welcome back, and still a good morning. You're watching the Vooka Breakfast Show, and those were your news headlines and a recap of your sports headlines. Tell me what you think by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. We are live on YouTube, and you can follow us on all social media platforms. We are Vooka Breakfast Show, and on X, we are at Vooka Daily. Do make sure that you get on that, and let people know that the Vooka Breakfast team is right here. My name is Moketi, my man. And also, I am not alone right here in the studio. I am with the beautiful TC Wagwamazibu. Go. Are you still good on this beautiful Thursday morning?
Oh my goodness, Mo. The energy that I have is high. You guys keep me warmed up. Of course, the weather is not ideal. It's a bit chilly today, guys. I hope you guys are keeping warm. But don't worry, if you're not warm, we are definitely about to keep you fired up right here on the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, hashtag Sivugile, so Vooka na Team Zanti, and whoever else is watching from wherever else you are watching from.
Yeah, and every time when you go to the break, we're going to give you a latest weather update just to keep you warmed up and ready for the rest of the day. And before the break, as we promised that we always share what happened today in history. Of course, it's not something that will happen tomorrow, but it's something that has happened in the past. You know, it's a significant memory that has been shared with us, you know, throughout the time. Of course, there are ones that you know and go through daily, you know, so that you can get yourself educated with some historical moments that have taken place. So with me right here, I have some that I want to share with you, right? So we know that in history, there are always things that are happening, especially this day, whether it's 1844, 1672, but on 4th April, something happened that served as a significant memory and has been jotted down as the most historic moment. So let's get on to the first one. So today in history, on April 3rd, right? It's the 3rd of April today, ne? Yeah, ne? I don't know my calendars also. Yeah, 3rd April 1973. The first mobile phone call was made 40 years ago today, guys. The first mobile phone call. The call that you just made this morning, the call that you just made yesterday or whenever was made today. It was made today. So Motorola employee Martin Cooper made history by placing the first mobile phone call using a prototype of the Motorola Dina TAC 8000 in the New York City, marking a pivotal moment in the evolution of mobile technology. While the content of the call, likely something practical, is not as iconic as earlier first communications, the event symbolized the potential of mobile connectivity. It took another decade for Dina tech to reach consumers, and mobile phones only became dominant over landlines 2 decades later. Today, mobile phones have transformed into versatile devices far beyond their original purpose, with Motorola's mobile division now under Google's ownership. Very interesting, man. The first mobile phone call was made 40 years ago today. So definitely there's a lot to learn from that. And then on the next one, Unabomber was arrested. On April 1996, this day, Theodore Ted Kaczynski was arrested at his tiny cabin in the woods outside Lincoln, Montana. The arrest brought to a close a nearly 18-year-long manhunt for an elusive figure known as the Unabomber. Theodore John Kaczynski, known as the Unabomber, was a former mathematics prodigy turned domestic terrorist who conducted a mail bombing campaign from 1978 to 1995, killing 3 and injuring 23 in protest against modern technology and industrialization. Living as a recluse in a remote Montana cabin, he authored a manifesto advocating a nature-centered anarchism. His arrest in 1996 followed the publication of his manifesto, which his brother recognized, leading to his identification. Kaczynski was sentenced to life in prison without parole and died by suicide in 2023 after a cancer diagnosis.
Unibombers, wow, man.
Yeah. Oh, did I say?
Yes.
But
you see, guys, don't worry. I'm here. I'm here for you. When Mo puts his twist on things, I'm here for you to just be like, guys, maybe Unibomber. It's a Unibomber.
Unabomber.
Unabomber. Mo. Unabomber, Unibomber, guys. It's a Unibomber.
Yeah, man, don't blame me because this thing happened. When did it happen? But 1996. Right. And then moving on to the next one. In 1885, Gottlieb Daimler patents his engine design and development. On this day, 1885, April 3rd, Gottlieb Daimler and Wilhelm Maybach were granted a patent for their grandfather clock engine, a 4-stroke gasoline-powered design featuring a porcelain tube ignition system and a horizontal cylinder that is considered a precursor to modern petrol engines. Developed in Daimler's workshop in Stuttgart, the engine's creation followed Daimler's departure from Deutz AG due to disagreements with Nicholas Otto. With Maybach remaining loyal to him, this innovation marked a significant step in automotive engineering history, despite initial skepticism from their neighbors, paving the way for the development of what would have become the main type of automobile engine, paving the way for the development of what would become the main type of automobile engine.
Man, and of course, here on the Vooka Breakfast Show on Fridays, you guys can catch our automotive blog. And then, I mean,
man.
a history. Look at that. Look at what happened today. Well, on a Thursday.
Yeah.
In history. Maybach, I didn't know that. That's an interesting one.
Very interesting.
Yeah, man.
Very interesting thing to, revise, man, as people who love history and doing history segments right here.
And to see how we now, obviously, now we can get to, review cars and drive cars and have modes of transport that doesn't require us taking long walks to freedom.
Yeah, you can say that again, man. Yeah, man. We are in a very, 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 evolved technological era. So definitely these kind of things, it's something that we need to go through to as, what happened, man, in those automobile history, right? So that we can know the history of why we are here in terms of the technology that we see in our cars. So very interesting. So before we move into celebrity birthdays, we know that every time we remind you of the day of the calendar that we are at. So today is the April 3rd. 2025, right? So the number of days into the year, today is the 93rd day of the year.
Yeah, we are 90.
So we are left with 273 days left until we end the year. Was it December?
It's April and already you are wishing the year away. No, guys.
Can't wait for December, man. December brings the vibes, man, right? It's the 2020 vibes. You feel me?
2020 vibes, okay.
2020 vibes, man. So obviously we're going to end this year with a vibe. So we need to bring those vibes.
We're still in the beginning. So let's enjoy. Let's enjoy the year, man. Let's enjoy. And of course, April is the financial year end.
Yeah.
So, I know that here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, we do try and keep you updated with some personal finance tips and experts. So you can tune into that every Tuesday right here and get, yourself updated and get yourself some tips and expert advice for your personal finance. So April also is, the financial year end month. So right here at the end of the April, it's going to be your financial year end. So SARS will probably be looking for, especially if you're running a small business, you might be having to do your tax returns soon. And guys, maybe certain things, that's why we had the budget speech recently, things will be going up, and certain financial tariffs will be coming into effect, and so you should be mindful of that. And maybe, I don't know, at your workplace, if you are employed, are you getting an increase? Because the standard, the cost of living is going up, so at your workplace, maybe they should also be, giving you an increase or maybe reviewing your salaries as well. So notable things that should be going down right now.
Yeah, definitely, because we love to see that even the budget speech, when the 0.5 VAT increase was proposed,
yes,
a lot of people are opposing it, but now they're promising people with the zero VAT related things, including the food. So nothing is going to increase on food as they are stipulating on the VAT increase. So definitely it's something that you need to get informed on. So, that we always have celebrities who are growing up today. So, also you can let us know which one of the celebrities, that is growing up by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show down there on the comment section. So, today, Eddie Murphy is growing up. Ooh. Eddie Murphy.
Hey, we're saying one thing, at least, Mo, there's no master of pronunciation, but at least when you enunciate your words, we can hear what you're trying to say.
Yeah, at least you can get the direction, rather than saying Eddie Murphy.
We are here.
Eddie
I'm
Murphy.
here with you, brother.
All right.
I'm here with you.
Yeah, man. So Eddie Murphy is growing up today, guys. Murphy, right? I was born on 1961 in Brooklyn, New York, United States. And today he is turning 64 years old. And an interesting fact about Eddie is that he earned many nominations during his career as an actor. His performance on The Nutty Professor, Trading Places, Beverly Hills Cop series, and 48 Hours earned him Golden Globe Award nomination. And known as Edward Regan, Eddie Murphy, an acclaimed American comedian and actor, is celebrated for his clever humor and memorable portrayals of amusing characters, from performing stand-up acts as a child to ending his breakthroughs role in television comedy. Murphy's ambition and creative personality propelled him to stardom. He has garnered numerous accolades, including a Primetime Emmy Award at the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor, as well as an Academy Award nomination for his role in Dreamgirls. While his personal life marked by multiple relationships, he's drawn public attention. His award-winning performance and inspiring characters have won admiration globally, solidifying his legacy as an entertainer. That's for Eddie. And another one right here we have on our list is the one and only Young M.A.
Oh, wow. It's Young M.A.'s birthday today.
Young man.
I remember I had a crush. I had a young
Wow.
crush on Young M.A. when Young M.A. was fresh in the game.
Yeah.
I was just like, but
Yeah.
then,
Ooh, that's the one.
That's the one that hooked me.
That's the one that hooked a lot of girls, man. I can attest to that, man. A lot of girls had, and still have a crush on Young M.A., man. Because I remember making an appearance in this. Do you know Drewski?
Drewski.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she appeared on this, reality show,
Show, yeah.
Drewski. So one of the girls who's participating there is a Young M.A.'s ex.
Ooh, oh yeah.
Right.
I think.
So Young M.A. is like, bro, what you doing now? Because you used to date, so now you're into guys like, hey, I'm doing for the bag. I'm doing it for the
For
bag.
the bag.
Right.
I remember there's a song by Young M.A. called Sober Thoughts. I think in the Young M.A. kind of throws a little bit of shade to that.
Yeah. So Young M.A. was born today in 1992 and she is turning 33 years old. So interesting fact about Young M.A. is that she is a lyricist and a rapper known for her YouTube hit Brooklyn Chirac Freestyle, debut mixtape Sleepwalking, and project Her Story. Tomboyish in her youth, she also played football. Real name Katora Marrero, known as Young M.A., is an American rapper, lyricist, and YouTube star celebrated for her hit single like Ooh and the Hot Sauce, specializing in underground hardcore rap. Starting her journey at age 9 in Brooklyn, she declined a role in Empire to focus on her music career.
Wow.
Honored as Forbes Hip Hop Crash Princess in 2017, she has received praise from artists like 50 Cent for her authentic style, publicly coming out as a lesbian at 18. Young M.A. has used her music to positively address the LGBTQ plus topics and challenge societal taboos. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Krashiami.
Yeah.
And fellow rainbow person.
Another celebrity that is growing up today is Leona Lewis. Lewis. She was born this day, 1985, and she is turning 40 years old. Interesting fact about her debut single, Bleeding Love, topped the charts in multiple countries. Leona Lewis, a British singer, songwriter, actress, and animal welfare campaigner, gained fame by winning the X Factor with her single A Moment Like, topping UK charts. Her debut album, Spirit, achieved international success, followed by Echo. She has acted in Walking on Sunshine and earned numerous awards, including MOBO Awards. Awards and World Music Awards. Alongside multiple Brit and Grammy nominations, Lewis is also recognized for her philanthropy and animal welfare advocacy.
How old were you when she released that single, Bleeding Love? Guys, I can still remember my younger sister and I
don't know,
belting out to Bleeding Love, acting like we know what is going on when it comes to love.
Yeah.
You know what, when you're in high school, I was in high school at that time when Bleeding Love, and
when
my
was
besties.
it?
And why you want me to Mo, you like to do this to me and everybody.
You asked me a question.
You want us to
How old
you
was
never
I?
make a woman, a lady, reveal her age. What is your issue? Hi, man. But yeah, Bleeding Love was one of also my faves. So today, Nji, I can see my faves are out here birthdaying. Happy birthday to them, man. Hit me with a boom, boom, boom. There you go, Mo.
Yeah, that's all for our celebrity birthdays. And for whoever who is growing up and you know someone, it happens that you know someone who's growing up today, just wish them a happy birthday and give them a shout out right here so that we can do the honors for them. Hip hip hooray to everyone who is growing. And then before I go to the word of the day, Hector Takalani coming on YouTube. Mo, I also can't wait for the year to end. You see what I'm saying?
Hector.
You see what I'm saying, guys?
Hi guys. Don't
Patience,
rush. Don't
guys.
Don't wish the year away. Take this. Life is a gift. Life
273 days to go.
Enjoy the journey.
273. In the next 7 days, we are 100 days in. We are flying, guys. Never. What are we waiting for? Man?
Hey, man. Soon it's gonna be the halfway mark. Of the year, which is June.
Yeah.
Then you will know, Guti, the year is, quarter to, the Gregorian year.
Yeah.
The African calendar, the Kemetic calendar, if I'm not correct, has already ended and we're about to start a new African year.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it depends which one do you follow, Hector? If maybe you are following the Kemetic African calendar, maybe you would have just been starting your year right now.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, so Mr. Hector, you need to look into that, man. Gregorian, maybe the year is ending or starting. So look for another one that speaks to the year that ends, man. Right, if it's a December in another country, definitely celebrating with them, guys. Yo, because
Guningi year. But man, I know as South Africans, right here, Mzansi, our spirit keeps us alive, guys. We have so many things right here that we can, as a people, as a nation, we can be proud of, and we can come together and celebrate and be happy about. So don't wish the year away. Just us at the Vooka Breakfast Show, we still here for you, and we want to still enjoy the year with you. So engage with us. Don't forget, Vele, to engage with us and share your opinions on our social media platforms. It's #Vooka Breakfast Show. Ngobatina sivugile.
Definitely. Speaking of celebrations, you know that every day we celebrate the usage of words in our daily basis, right? We know that we use words in different aspects and apply them in different situations that we head on. And the most important thing is to be an assertive person, always thinking for the next person's feelings when you're about to say words to them. So also increasing the vocabulary so that now you know what to fill in before you say, things that are going to hurt other people. So
also using words out of context. I've noticed that's, I in our politics right now and in media, in order for us to really and truly understand what's going on in the world, we need to, align ourselves and use with words that we can understand. So we with these big words that are now being thrown in budget speeches, in political discussions, in media reports, so that you understand exactly what is going on, especially in those spaces where critical information is being shared.
Yeah, definitely. So our word of the day today, and obviously we're going to start with an idiom, right? Yeah, because this weed, man, you definitely, whoever came up with this weed, they want to see me getting fired, man.
Well, don't worry. I'm always here for you, Mo. Maybe I will help. I will help you in the word. When the word is too big for you, I will help you. Don't worry.
So you'll pick up the word right there on the idiom, right? So the idiom for today is the ultra crepidarian blogger's article on advanced physics were widely ridiculed by experts in the field. So let me repeat that for you. The ultra crepidarian bloggers' articles on advanced physics were widely ridiculed by experts in the field. So obviously the word to pick out there is ultra crepidarian. So what is the meaning of ultra crepidarian? So the definition of ultra crepidarian. Well, before I give you the definition, let me spell it for you so that you can get a understanding, right? It's spelled as follows: is ULTRACREPIDARIAN, ultra crepidarian. Let me repeat that again. It's ULTRACREPIDARIAN. And it is a noun, which is a noun is a naming word. So ultra crepidarian. A definition of ultra crepidarian is a person who gives opinions and advice on matters beyond their knowledge and expertise.
I try never to be an ultra crepidarian.
Yay. You know,
I try to never be an ultra crepidarian right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, so that I do not speak on things that I do not fully comprehend or understand, or concepts that I do not grasp, and not spread misinformation.
Yeah, for this space, Vele, we are not meant to do that.
Yeah.
But outside of this, man, I just love going beyond my knowledge, man. You know, just speaking things out of existence. We are humans, guys. We need to explore our minds.
Right?
Yeah, man. We have the cognitive resonance for a reason, man. You know, we need to reason. We need to get deep down into the bottom of what our neurons on. So imagine if you can just speak something outside of this universe, and we're trying to construct a sentence on that, and people don't get you. And now you are the master.
No, but are you an authority on the subject? Are you somebody who's well versed? Are you knowledgeable on here? No, maybe you're not. You see, because then if you were, you'd be able to articulate and yourself very well, and be able to get the point across. But if you're unable to do so, it might be that you are an ultra crepidarian.
I mean, it speaks to the education that has been put out for us. Our education system, we have different hierarchy of qualifications, right?
Yes.
You have your degrees, your masters, PhD. So if I can come with an ultra crepidarian mentality, you can't dispute anything that I say to you.
But don't even. Hey, there have been people, right, on social media. Remember that doctor? Remember?
Which one? Dr. Matthew.
Yes. I didn't even want to
forget.
Like, oh my word. Yeah, no. But we have many examples of that, because in the age of social media, suddenly everybody is an expert.
Yeah, definitely. So now our word of the day is ultra crepidarian. So obviously the meaning is, the blogger who was an expert in physics wrote articles on a subject. Let me get into the example sentence on how you can use ultra crepidarian in a sentence. So a simple sentence you can use it is: the politicians ultra crepidarian remarks on economics policy were criticized by economists who accused him of oversimplifying complex issues. Right? The politician ultra crepidarian remarks on economic policy were criticized by economists who accused him on oversimplifying complex issues. So whoever's watching right there at home, just let me know right there on the comment section, how would you use the word ultra crepidarian, in your daily life, man? You wake up when someone, that guy always on the corner, behaves like
that one with so it has those the what do I call them? The corner philosophers.
Hey,
those
man.
ones. The corner philosophers, those ones, they know anything and everything on anything. Like they will never say angazi. I don't know. For them, they have an opinion and a say for everything. But again, when you have nothing to do, what else can you do but
spread
talk
knowledge
out your neck?
If there's nothing you can do, just spread knowledge, my beautiful people. I mean, you would hear those conversations.
Not knowledge that you do not know anything about, because that's what being an ultra crepidarian is about. People just speaking out of their depth. You are not even well versed here. This is not even on your, you're not. This is not of your stature.
Ish, man.
And you are here speaking on it. But then again, sometimes, when you are confident enough, when you speak with, I've seen it happen. When people speak with confidence, and even though they are not speaking on something that they know, that they are well versed on, it's so easy sometimes to believe them. It can be. There are people who be like,
Obviously, and also with people who have studied, public speaking. Because there was this guy who was giving a TED talk. He's an Indian guy. Mm-hmm. So he came in, first 5 minutes, not 5 minutes, but first 60 seconds of the talk, he convinced people that smoking is healthy. And people bought that.
Wow.
And then he was speaking about, you see the dangers of someone speaking with vigor, someone speaking with
charisma. Yes, of which that's what, I see happens now when it comes to branding, marketing, and all those kind of things. We are not, we always have these people who speak charismatically and with such vigor. And instead of listening and analyzing their words, you get taken by emotion. And that's what branding and marketing is about. It's you really, it's about just convincing people based on their emotions. And that's why when a company or a brand has a good branding and marketing team, their sales go through the roof. Remember when Prime convinced everybody here in South Africa to buy those energy drinks for 700 rand? Those parents, 400 rand. Sorry, 400 rand. Haibo, I'm like 400 rand for, but because of the branding and marketing, look at how just everything was flying off the shelves, parents getting stampeded. Those videos, go check us. I still remember just sitting there as somebody who couldn't afford that, or even not afford, thinking to myself, what a waste, I will never. I'm like, angeke. No mumtana mangakhala, bang the head against the wall. I will not buy an energy drink, Mina, for 400 rand just because.
Yeah. Definitely, so are you an ultra crepidarian right there at home? Tell us, because ultra crepidarian, speaking of the misinformation and the misconception. So there was this, these small boys, man, they had this so much convincing conversation where they thought you can steal Wi-Fi at the clinic. So it's free Wi-Fi.
Yes.
So the conversation is like, Ntwana, do you know go to Wi-Fi? So when they go to the clinic, they connect. I get it, they don't understand. So when they get connected, they're like, and they're like, yo, boy, you literally stole Wi-Fi. But no, it's just a connection. Free Wi-Fi for free everyone in the community, right? So yeah, definitely that is our word of the day, ultra crepidarian. So, just tell us how you can use it in your daily basis. That is where we're going to end it right here with our word of the day and today in history. And our guest just walked in. So much is going to be shared right here. So stay tuned for beautiful conversations and do make sure that you're going to learn informative things that you can use on your daily basis. So today we're going to be having Dr. Mandlesilo, who is a pastor, is going to be sharing more wisdom with us. And if you would like to know more, is to use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. And Ukafu Makafula, gym instructor, will be here with us, sharing information that you need to know. And later we'll be having on our tech segment Ubanele, speaking about the analog TV spectrum, the shift to digital.
Wow.
I know you're still using Ariel.
Ubani, no. I don't even have a TV, Mo. Okay, I don't watch the regular television programming,
It's chai.
guys. It's
If you're still using Ariel, it's chai.
But
It's chai.
but I mean, there are people. You don't forget that we still have people in the emakaya. Right here in the townships that still have uskupe qolo is what I call it. That TV that has the hump at the back. Your old school analog TV.
Yeah.
They still have it, and there's still people who use the in an aerial, but I know that the SABC, there were people that you had to go and register at your local post office to get moved over, to the, a satellite TV. But Angazi, have you guys, who still, I want to, if you are still using analog TV, I want you to comment so Ubanele can, school you, ganani, moving over to the digital age. Catch up, catch up.
Yeah, definitely. That's what we're going to be unpacking right here for you on the Vooka Breakfast Show. So what we're going to do right now is to take a short break, and then we'll come back. We're going to welcome one of our guests who have just joined us in the studio. For now, this is your latest weather update.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
Catch us every weekday morning, Monday to Friday, between 7 and 10.
Right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network.
Always bringing you the best content possible.
Vooka Nati, wake up with us and kickstart your day on a great note.
This is your energetic start to the day.
All right, 14 minutes till we hit 9 o'clock, and you're still watching the Vooka Breakfast Show. My name is Mwikiti Maimane. And the simple thing for you to do is to follow us on our social media platforms. We have Vooka Breakfast Show on YouTube, Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook, and Vooka Breakfast Show on Instagram and TikTok. When you go to X, it's at Vooka Daily. And as promised, that we will be bringing you our first guest, which is Dr. Mandlesilo, who is a pastor, a medical doctor, special neurologist, author, Confessions of a Pastor KD, and a motivational speaker. So what we're going to do right now is to head over and welcome him right here on the show. Mr. Mandlesilo, welcome to the Vooka Breakfast Show. Siagwamugela. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting
feel honored.
Yeah. So what I'm going to ask you is to speak closer to the mic, and you can also have your headphones here, so that we can have that clear sound. Yeah. Can you please repeat that, because people didn't get that?
All right. I was just saying thank you so much for inviting me this morning. I feel honored to be here. Greetings to you and greetings to all the viewers at home.
Yeah. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us, because we know that on Thursday we theme them as spiritual alignment.
Yes.
Right. So it is an honor to have you here, because a lot of people are having misconceptions, and you are a pastor, right? So before singing deep into the conversation, can you please let someone who is watching and listening who doesn't know more about you, just a brief introduction of who you are, what you do, and where you are from?
All right. Okay, so my name is Simpio Mantlesilo. I come from a small area in Bizana, Eastern Cape, very rural area. Most of you probably never even heard about it, but it does have some important people who are coming from there. For example, Winnie Madikizela Mandela, the late, she was born there in Bizana, and also the late ANC stalwart Oliver Tambo was also born in Bizana. So it's small, but it has produced giants. So I'm from there. That's where I was born, and basically, then my dad was a pastor. I'm saying was because my parents, both of them, they passed on. It's been a lot of years now, but we actually grew up in Mount Elif, even though I was born in Bizana. Mount Elif is just very close to Bizana. It's also in Eastern Cape. It's also a rural, dusty, poor town, if I can put it that way. Then that is where I basically did all my lower grades, and even high school. I did it there. So where I grew up, it was, we call it a mission place. That's what we call it. It's where a pastor stays. So a pastor you'll move from your home. So he moved from his home in Bizana, got a calling, and then he went to Mount Elif, and then we had to move. Many of us, when we grew up at home, 8 kids in total. 8 kids in total, and my dad was basically depending from the church. For, you can imagine raising 8 kids from we're calling it Inkongozelo. When we grew up, Inkongozelo, it's when you take a sauce or a side plate, and then you put coins, the offering. So we called it Inkongozelo. So that's how we survive, basically. So we grew up in abject poverty. It was bad. It was really, really bad. Then fortunately, by God's grace, I was really smart in terms of the studies. I was that guy that the teachers, when they when they're asking a question, they'll ask everyone, and then at the end they'll say, "Tell them, my boy," and then I'll stand up.
Look at you.
I was that kind of
the bright one in the class.
I was that kind of a guy, and I something that I put in my book also, that because I was gifted in terms of the books, that also helped me, because the kids who were coming from rich families, but who were not that gifted in terms of them being smart, they would ask me to assist them with their homework, and in turn they will pay me with the lunchbox. So I was able to survive that way. And then I got a scholarship when I finished matric. Then I went to study medicine in Cuba. Stayed there for 6 years. Came back University of Cape Town. Then I started internship in Eastern Cape, and then I've worked in many places. But currently I'm working here in Joburg at Netcare Pioneer Hospital, which is right here in Krugersdorp, and Life Flora Hospital, which is here in Florida. And then I've also started a church. Well, it's not a new church, basically. It's a branch of a well-known church. So it's a branch of Apostolic Faith Mission. So it's a church just more like Assemblies of God, like Full Gospel, call them the Pentecostal churches. So I started a church about 3 years ago. And it's in Silver Star Casino. We use the conference hall inside Silver Star Casino. People always give me that look when I say in a casino. So
but then again, you know what? Maybe some of those people need some spiritual upliftment, man, and that's why they are there.
Like gambling there, then I'm calling them to Christ on the other side. So that's where we are. So the church is growing, And then on top of everything that I'm doing, I'm in my last year of doing Bachelor of Theology in Northwest University. So yeah.
Interesting.
That's me in a nutshell. I'm
Yeah.
also an author. I've written a book, Confessions of a Pastor's Kid. So yeah.
Yeah. So I just want you, to tell us and a little bit brief of growing up as a pastor's kid. We just want to know the differences and the principles that you grew up with. Compared to a child whose dad is not a pastor.
Sure.
So how was it growing up?
Okay, so growing up as a pastor's kid, it has a lot of challenges. It's more like you grow up with a label, basically. You go with a pastor's kid label wherever you go. Most of the time is not in a good way. I usually say to people, growing up as a pastor's kid is more like you're a child that is growing under a microscope. Everyone is viewing every little thing that you do. Your mistakes, they get amplified because you're a pastor's kid. What used to happen, and you have a lot of people observing you that you don't even know. What used to happen to me is we'll be playing with other kids at school, and then maybe I will throw a vulgar swear word. Somehow that word will find its way to my dad. And somehow that conversation will come up in the same one. And then there are kids who are swearing at each other at school. And then, so then there are people who everything that you're doing, people, they are looking at you and they're criticizing you. And this is what makes a lot of pastors' kids to grow up as what we call rebels, all right? Because I usually say pastors' kids, most of them, the life they live, it's not real. You, for me, I quickly noticed that for me to please my dad, it has to do with church. The more I'm doing things right inside the church, I'm preaching and I'm playing instruments and I'm singing and all of that, the more my dad is impressed. So now, you as a child, you don't become a child. You become umzalwane at a very early age because you need to please your dad. But all this this shell that you are in, it will break when you go to varsity or far away from your parents. So then now they are going to see a real you there. That's when then pastors' kids start drinking, they start experimenting with smoking. The girls, they start experimenting with dating. So because they are trying to, there's sort of like an identity crisis there. It's not nice. There are positive things. The positive things is that there are some good life lessons and values that you learn from your parents.
Morals,
for example, for me, I learned that in whatever situation I find myself in at a very early age that I need to pray. And that helped me. I mean, when I was in Cuba, which was a communist country far away, whenever I was in trouble, I knew that I had to pray. And that is what has guided my life. And basically, in everything that I'm doing, prayer is one thing that is just up there. And I learned that from my dad. And also, I never thought I would go into ministry, being a pastor. That's why I went to medicine. I did medicine because it's far away from being a pastor.
But either way, you're healing people, right?
Yes.
I mean, either way, you are in the business of healing people, and I think that for me, it aligns whether it is that you are a pastor or a doctor, because when you are a pastor, you are healing people through spirit. You are healing their spirit spiritually. So but what I want to know from you, Ne, is you, like you said, you were under a microscope as a pastor's child, and you felt like the bond between yourself and your father was formed by the church. So now that for me sounds like, did you find there's this misconception about religion where like it's almost schizophrenic in nature, in the sense that it's like something you put on and put off, like you are split in personality. Say you are one way when you are this, when you're with your dad and in the ministry and you're doing your thing, and then you are another when you are where now there's one book I remember by somebody, they wrote that where their experience of their dad as a pastor was horrible, where people loved this man. He was a man, when he was in ministry, he was a man who was loved by everyone, but at home he didn't treat them very well. So it was almost schizophrenic in nature, like this person in the public, he's a person who's loved by many. He's helpful. Public he heals. He heals people through spirit and the word. But then at home, he's someone who oppresses and makes people doubt their value, their worth, and isn't very, present.
Yeah.
So when with you, how did that exist, and did you ever feel like that is something that you had to be in order to fit into your dad's life?
So for me, it was different because my dad was the same in church and at home.
Okay.
He was the same loving father, in whether I'm at church or whether I'm at home. So I did not experience it that way. But one thing that I experienced was when I grew up, I felt like I was forced to be at church. So I had kids that were all in Sunday school. That some days they wouldn't come to Sunday school because they would say, "No, today I don't feel like coming," and it was well. For me, I did not have that choice because the church was at home. So I had to be at church and I had to deliver. When I say deliver, it means that if someone needs to share the word, I had to step in. If the person who plays keyboard is not there, I had to step in. If they need someone to lead the service, I had to step in.
Yeah.
So that is why then you find that pastors' kids, they grow up able to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Because it's not like it's your choice, but at that stage when you're growing, you are forced to do these things. But when you speak to pastors' kids, most of them, they will tell you that they start well, doing everything that the parents are telling them to do. Then they go to Vasito far away. Then they start to go astray. Some of them, they never come back. They go astray. Some, they even die in the process.
Yeah.
But most of pastors' kids, they usually do a comeback.
Yeah.
And the comeback is not done by the parents. The comeback is done by God because the parents have been praying for them. Then what happens is they start to have a personal relationship with God, whereby now they go to church because it's a personal conviction. They've had an encounter with God, and now they accept Jesus and they become saved, not because of their parents.
Yeah.
And then some of them, or most of them, they end up even being pastors because of the calling of God over their lives, of which they never knew that it existed.
Yeah.
It's only later when you realize that, no, hang on, man, this thing is in me and I cannot run away from it. As I say that, even when it comes to myself, I mean, it took me, as I say that I started church like 3 years ago. Why I started 3 years ago? Because I've been running all this time. I could not believe that I would stand up and be a pastor one day, because I didn't want it and I didn't have good experience with it.
Yeah, and you've clarified, a question that we've been asking ourselves, that why some of the pastors' kids, have, problems with their behavior, because it's something that has been, coming up into light, especially in our communities, that no, man, she's a pastor kid, he's a pastor kid, and, their behavior is the same. But now there are misconceptions about being a pastor. And of course, some people, they expect you to become perfect. So I want to ask you now, what does not being perfect mean?
All right, so pastors, they are human beings. That's what people need to understand. What does that mean when we're saying they are human beings? We mean they experience the same challenges that you experience, the same temptations that you experience, and they don't always feel strong, even though they go into the pulpit and you think they're strong all the time. Sometimes when they are going there, they are crying and they are going through a lot of pain, but they can't. I was telling them in my church last Sunday that last 2 weeks have been very challenging. I had a lot of things that were really challenging me. And the problem with that is that I cannot stand in front of the church and say, "Oh, Basalat, I'm feeling so weak today. I feel like crying," like what some of the church members will do, and then you'll pray for them. As a pastor, when you stand in front of the people, you always have to project that everything is going well. But deep down, sometimes not everything is going well. But because you are a leader, when you are a leader, people, they want to see their leader being strong. Nobody wants to be led by a leader who's showing weaknesses and all those things. So that's where the problem is. So when we say pastors are humans, we are trying to say to people, you need to view them the same way that you view yourself. You are not perfect, so pastors are not perfect. There are mistakes that pastors may. Obviously, I'm not trying to condone like the weird things that we see pastors doing. I'm not talking about moral issues here. So I'm not talking about moral issues, but I'm just saying that pastors, they've got feelings just like you. They go through temptations just like you. There may be areas of weakness just like you do. But it's just that these days, even calling yourself a pastor, some of us, you even feel ashamed because of the things that we see. I mean, right now, there's a story that's trending of a trial in Eastern Cape about a pastor, who walked free after multiple allegations of rape. Omoto. So you understand? So when you're saying you're a pastor and then you see someone doing those things, you get to feel ashamed.
Yeah. Because those misconception has got some other pastors feeling like now they're being sidelined from being normal people in their community, right? So that also speaks to a lot of them needing healing also, because people will say if you're a pastor, it means you're a god. So
exactly.
you need to bring that wisdom onto people.
Yeah.
So in terms of praying and worshiping, what role does that play in one's life?
Okay, so a human being is if I can just explain a bit, a human being is more like God. What do you mean by is more like God? God is not just God the Father that we know. God is a triune God. There is God the Father, there is God the Son, which is Jesus Christ, and there is God the Holy Spirit. But that is all God. It's like one person in three parts. Okay, a human being is exactly like that. There is you that we see, which is the body. All right, and then you have a soul. A soul is like it's where the mind is, where the source of affection is, where the feelings are, and all those things. That is a soul. And then you have a spirit also. All right. So it's those three things. And as a person, we tend to focus on what we see, which is the physical. We tend to satisfy the needs of the physical. So you're thirsty now, you need water. You're hungry, you need food. But we forget about the spirit. Sometimes we even forget about the soul. All right. So when worshiping God, in terms of worshiping God, you basically satisfying the needs of the spirit. You are a spiritual being. There's something in you that is longing to worship. And if you don't worship God, you will end up worshiping other things, because in you as a person, you are designed to be this entity that has to worship. And if you don't worship God, you're going to end up worshiping other things. Why? Because your spirit is thirsty, your spirit is hungry, your spirit needs to be fed. So when you go to church, basically, that is where your spirit is fed. Not necessarily in church only. I mean, even when you are alone, you can pray and read the word, and you can nurture your spirit and watch the TV programs. But when you come to church, that's where we all come together. That's where our spirit is fed. That's where we are also taught how to deal with life issues. So it plays a major role, even though people they may not think about it. And for me, it seems like all of us somehow, in some way, we are worshiping something. Even if you're not worshiping God, there is something that you're worshiping, because you are a spiritual being and there's a longing for worshiping Him.
So when you say worship, because I know Uguti Angisho, like you're saying, that we all need something. So that means everyone has a vice. Right? There's something that we all need in order to survive. Others need more love, others need others, they need community support systems. So when it comes to the issue of mental health, because I'm a very big advocate for mental health issues, having suffered having to deal with some of them myself. So when you, as a pastor, when you in your ministry, and when you are approached by people going through stuff, right? And then you also have, as a doctor, you have to heal people through medicine, So how do you align, in your opinion, how can we align the two to help improve how we deal with mental health in the country?
Okay, so I've also had like serious issues with mental health. From the age of 13, I had a major depression and nobody knew what it was. And in a church, they would just pray for me, and it was not really helping. Okay. So I'm also someone who's quite passionate about it. And also the kind of work I do, even though I'm a neurologist, I see on a daily basis, I deal with mental health issues. Why? Because as a neurologist, one of the things that you deal with, it's headaches. People who've got headaches that can't be treated, they come to you. and most of those people, there is underlying depression that's not being addressed. So when it comes to mental health, people need to understand that mental health, it has got three aspects in it. There is a psychological part that everybody knows, but there's also a physical part. Some people, they've got mental health issues because it's just it's actually a physical thing. There's a condition that needs to be treated,
like an imbalance in hormones, or is it?
Well, when, for example, if you talk about depression, for us to say you have depression, already there is hormonal imbalance. So it's standard to everyone, but there are some other conditions that may predispose you to suffer from depression. I'm just making. Okay. Let me just make an example, like a simple thing, like a low vitamin B12 in your system can make you to be depressed. Thyroid, if thyroid is low in your blood, it can make you to be depressed, or you are prone to be depressed, if I can put it that way. Yes. So there is a physical part that needs to be explored, but then there's also a spiritual side of it. All right. Yeah. So whenever you approach a person, you need to approach a person in those three instances. In my case, I think when I was young, the mistake that was done was, I think they focused on the spiritual side only. They did not focus on other things. Whereas when it comes to mental health, it's actually a multidisciplinary thing. You need a lot of people to be involved. So it's not just a pastor, but you will need a psychologist or a psychiatrist, and then in some cases you will need a social worker. You may even need like a GP or a physician just to check the body and see if there are no conditions that need to be treated.
Yeah. So now, cycling back, to healing, because now you are at the stage where you are a medical doctor and a pastor. So I just want to know, at what point do you decide to use medicine or prayer?
Okay. All right. So I always do clash with people at times because they come to me knowing that I'm a pastor, and then they come to my practice with a medical condition, and then I tell them that I wear different hats. If you come to Dr. Mandlesilo, I'm a doctor there. Yeah. Whatever I'm doing, I'm applying medicine. All right. If you are sick, I'm going to apply medicine. I'm a doctor. I won't even pray for you. Even if I see that your condition, I think it needs prayer. You're coming to me as a doctor. You're not coming to me as a pastor. It's a different thing when you come to me at church. When you come to me at church, I'm a pastor. I'm not wearing the doctor a cap there. And then I will treat you and approach your condition the way that I approach the condition, the spiritual condition. So I don't mix the two things. Why I'm not mixing the two things? Because in my practice, I treat people of different religions. I treat people who are not Christians. I treat people who are atheists, who don't believe in God. So I cannot impose things on them. Let me make an example. So if someone comes to consult and the person believes in African religion, for example, believes in ancestors and all of that, I cannot criticize that or impose my religion on that. What is my role there? My role is medicine. I need to treat you in terms of medicine, which is what I am. I'm a doctor. In other aspects, I won't get in there. Whereas if you come to church, then it's a different story.
Yeah.
I hope I explained it.
Yeah, thank you. You highlighted it perfectly. You highlighted it perfectly. Because that a lot of people have different beliefs in our communities. Exactly. So speaking of beliefs, there are people who dispute what the Bible will say, what the pastors will say, what the a sangoma will say. So I just want to know your thoughts, on the Bible's view regarding life after death.
Yeah. Well, the Bible is clear when it comes to the issue of life after death. Yeah. One, there is life after death, because there are people who question that, to say that there's no life after death. I mean, if you read the Bible, there are multiple scriptures that explain that there's definitely life after death. Why there is life after death? Because when we talk about death, we are talking about the separation, basically. Your soul separates from your body, your spirit separates from your body. It's a separation. But then if there's a separation, you do see where the body goes, 6 feet under. Yeah. I mean, the way they even put it, in Xhosa they will say, ubongani agaseko. But you're looking at the body of Bongani, but they say, ubongani agaseko, because they understand that what we are seeing is a body of Bongani, but the minute Bongani stops to breathe, is no longer Bongani, it's the body of Bongani. So now where is Bongani? That's the question that you have to ask. That is why there is life after death. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. Because depending on what you on your relationship with God here on earth, it determines where you're going to go after. And the Bible is made to be clear that after death there is hell and then there is heaven. But it's also debatable also in terms of when you die, do you go directly to hell or you go into a period of waiting, basically waiting for judgment day? Because some people will say when you die, you actually go to a place of waiting, and then they will say it's not the same place that the righteous and the unrighteous wait. The unrighteous will wait in Hades. Hades is not hell. It's Hades. It's a place of the dead, but for the unrighteous. And then the righteous ones are waiting in paradise. That's not heaven also, but it's the place where the righteous are waiting. What are they waiting for? We are waiting for two things, basically. We're waiting, one, this is obviously this is from my worldview, because some people will believe other things, but this is from my worldview and how I've been taught that we're waiting for two things. One, you're waiting for the coming of Jesus Christ when there's going to be a resurrection, which is what we call rapture. And then the second thing that we're waiting for the judgment day. And judgment day, all of us are going to be judged. All of us are going to stand in front of God, and we are going to be judged on the things that we did here on earth. So the belief is that whatever you're doing, it's being recorded here on earth, and one day you'll have to account.
Yeah.
I love that we're talking about life after death.
Yeah.
And we are talking about it in the Christian sense, because I want you right now, Gangisho, to maybe, give me your perspective or opinion on this. Because isn't it when Amadlozi, African spirituality, they believe in life after death. Amadlozi. Because at the end of the day, when one has now departed from this world, they now go on to the next world and live within the realm of sentience. You understand? So now what I want to know is, why is there this, it seems to be, I don't know, I can say feud between Christianity and African spirituality, where where churches will be like, amadlozi are not a concept, but will then turn around and say there's life after death.
Okay, all right. So it's not a feud between Christianity and African spirituality per se. It's a feud between religions. Why am I saying that? Because if you go to other religions that are not Christians, they will tell you that when a person dies, a person reincarnates. So you die, and then you can come back as a different person, living as in a different way. Of which you, in African spirituality, you will question that. You will have an issue with that. That is there really thing as reincarnation? So if I die, it means that I'm still going to live again, but I'm going to live maybe in another era. Maybe I'm going to surface in 2050, and I'll maybe surface as even a white person because I'm reincarnated. It's different world views, and in different religions. All religions, they've got different ways of explaining what happens to life after death. African spirituality explains it in a different way. Christianity explains in a different way. But if you go to Islam will explain in a different way. If you go to any other religion, it's going to explain in a different way. So it's not just Christianity and African spirituality. But why does it seem like those two, they are clashing? It seems like those two, they are clashing because if you are in a society, most people are going to be divided into that. There will be those who believe in Amadlozi, and there will be those who believe in Christianity. But it's not like you are living in a Muslim society. If you think about it, in your area, most people, they will be either believing in African spirituality or they will be believing in Christianity. It's not like you've got Muslims there, because if you had Muslims there, and then you will have to pitch your idea that you're saying Amadlozi, this is what they do. You'll probably have clashes with them too, but you're not seeing those clashes because they are not there most of the time. So and the other thing is that when it comes to African spirituality, you have the Christianity that came, and the Christianity is supposed to bring light, and supposed to bring light. It will teach against some of the things that people have known for ages, and that is a clash already. And what makes things to be even complex, because even with Christianity itself, we are divided. There are those Christians who say, I worship God, but I also worship my ancestors. I won't neglect my ancestors. And those people are still Christians. And then you'll have Christians like me who are going to say, no, for me, I believe that you don't have to mix the two.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting.
So we call these things worldviews. Everyone approaches according to his worldview.
To how they understand and what is relevant to them.
Yeah, interesting, Pastor. I'm still in conversation with Pastor Mandlesilo right here. What we're going to do right now is to take a short break, and we can keep those comments coming by using a hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, because I can see Hector and Musi Mister, they've posted their questions. But right there we have Hector Takalane, our birthday wishes. Happy birthday to my friend Warren G. So a special shout out to Warren G. From the Vooka team to Warren G. Would like to say happy birthday to you, and we hope that you enjoy your day. And then Hector comes back. You got a special one on studio. 2-in-1. God blessed. Definitely. So the conversation does not only end here. We are continuing after the break. (19:09). It is the time. You're still watching Vooka Breakfast Show, and we're still in conversation with Pastor Mandlesilo right here in studio. And this is where we are going to have the last 15 minutes conversation with him. And after joining us will be Ukafu Makafula, a gym instructor. So now going back to the conversation. Yes, we read the comments, and I am going to read your questions, and Pastor is here to answer your questions. So going back to the conversation, Pastor, is what we spoke about, something that keeps you awake at night and that you want to address.
Okay, so it's two things that really keep me awake. One is a lack of career guidance in the kids at school. It bothers me a lot. I think it bothers me a lot because I started from very poor schools. Schools where you didn't expect much to come out from. But what made me to be what I am was people who guided us. We were able to get a very good career guidance. In fact, I did not even choose my subjects when I went to high school. So what they will do, the teachers, they will look at your symbols like, oh, straight A's, go to physics and science. Oh, B and C, go to accounting. Or C and D, go to geography and maths. F, go to history. They were doing that. I mean, it's debatable, obviously, but it helped me because they channeled me to the science field, and I'm a doctor today because of that. But the teachers, they hold tremendous influence on the kids. They can shape a kid to be something better. But what I'm seeing now, what bothers me, and this I'm seeing in kids who are studying in public schools. I'm seeing it in kids who are paying 80,000 rents per year for school fees in private schools, expensive private schools. But when you come to check the subjects that they are doing, you look at the child's the list of the subjects they are doing, and you just see that this kid is going to struggle even if he can get straight A's in matric. Why? Because when you combine these subjects, they don't amount to anything. What do I mean by that? You find the kid is doing history, is doing life orientation, and then is doing maths literacy, of which I'm a strong critic of maths literacy. I don't know who came with it.
I did maths lit at school.
I'm a strong critic of maths literacy. I don't know who came with it.
It's to try and make other people. Let me explain. It's to because I did maths lit, right? And how there's people who don't. Their brain does not. I mean, you're a neurologist. Does not really grasp the concept of numbers. So when it is said in a sentence, like, because in maths lit, they usually put it in scenarios. Like Uguti, instead of putting it theoretically, just numbers based, it's on now practical. Like if Susan has 7, but obviously now more complex as you get. If Susan has 7 sweets, but then takes this and does this with that, how do you like in that it's to put to help kids grasp the concept of numbers when their brain cannot. It's like when it's just purely just figures. Their brain cannot.
So the issue I have with that is that the subjects that you do, they will help you in the future to be able to do what you want to do.
Okay.
Make an example. You get a kid who say, I want to be a doctor. But the kid is not doing, I'm using the old terminology, we're calling physical science. I don't know what they call it. The kid is not doing physical science. The kid is not doing life science. The kid is not doing pure maths. And then when they come with maths lit and what is the other thing they like? Tourism. I think it's tourism. That they like. So the kid has done maths lit and tourism, and then there's history. But then when they go to varsity, then those subjects, when they put them together, it's so difficult to choose any stream because it just doesn't go hand in hand. The second thing that I've noticed is I had a relative at home who passed the kids. They call it a bachelor pass. Yeah, and the bachelor pass is meant to say that you can get university admission with bachelor pass. So we celebrated, and it was also so nice, but when we took the kid to all the varsities, the kid could not qualify for a single course with the bachelor's. Why? Because the kid got B in English, and then in maths got like 20%. So the subjects are not coming together. I've got serious issues. If there's any teacher who's watching, please guide your kids. Please. True. This is something that really bothers me. The second thing that bothers me it's what was mentioned earlier, the issues of mental health. I think there's a pandemic of mental health. I think we're not doing enough in terms of us addressing it. I think we need more psychologists, we need more social workers, we need more doctors, we need more awareness, and people, they don't understand how early the issues of depression start. They start very early, and things like bullying. Things like bullying, which happens a lot in school. I was bullied a lot when I grew up. But I mean, nobody knows I was bullied because nobody cared. You understand what I'm saying? But those are the things that you see that a kid will be like in grade 4, in grade 5, you hear that they committed suicide because they were being bullied. Mental health, guys, is a pandemic.
And I feel like the correlation between mental health and spirituality is so important, because when you're connected to yourself and you are deeply rooted within you, and you know what you stand for, that you've got a strong spiritual root. I feel like that can help you in times of dire need, when you are having issues where you are facing suicidal ideation and thoughts, and you are having issues where now you can't see past these obstacles, where you are in that deep state of depression where it's dark, and in your mind there is no help, nothing, no hope, no faith. Faith is hard to come by in those moments. You understand? I mean, as somebody who, like I said, has dealt with and still sometimes struggles themselves to calibrate and stay sane as much as I am the positivity dose of the day here on the show, you know, but being spiritually aligned helps. It can help deeply root you in that faith that it's all going to be okay. It's all
There's
going
something to hold on.
It's going to be fine. And you know, I know that sometimes words are not enough, and that, you know, you need other things to get you out of that state, but you know, having spiritual alignment helps, like you're saying.
And also, you know, I want to attest to what you've just said. You know, one of the things that bothers you in society is you know, the issue of, you know, learners not being given enough education, you know, because I'm one of those learners. I saw that we were somehow discouraged because they're going to say, no, there's no enough budget, you know, to bring in educators who are going to teach, you know, kids mathematics and things like that. We saw the discourage, you know, happening. And now you realize at the later stage that, you know what, I wish I could have, you know, I could have went through doing maths, could have done physical science, life sciences, because you see the practical problems that you face in your daily life. And it's something that Minister of Education, Sivio Khwarube, spoke about, that now the, what you call the entries are now becoming low when it comes to your science, technology, engineering, and maths. So it's something that we need to go back, revisit, and, you know, highlight in communities that now we need to restructure our education system. Every kid need to have a physical science, maths, so that you know, our country can become a better place, man, for people to live.
And it's quite sad in the sense that now, you know, it means if you don't have money, you know, for if your mom, like you say, you're coming from Ebizana, which is like really a small town where literally nothing happens, it means Haibo, so you are, you know, you are sold into that thing of faithlessness, of hopelessness, where you just feel like I'm only where you box yourself to say I'm only going to amount to a certain you know, and then where now it's like, you know, now you see it's like basically a factory line where you just keep spewing out the same kind of individuals out of these schools where that they're going to now are going to be street, just sit in the Lalini, not having anything to do belusa maybe, or maybe just being attending imicimbi every weekend or whatever, you know, for umqombothi or whatever, you know, it breeds. And I want us as the black society to stray away from that, like you say, where we should not hold ourselves to such a low regard when it comes to what is it that our children, our society is capable of. Because we have seen how we have talent, man. We have people who are able to use their brain. It's just giving them the tools and equipping them and awakening that inside of them. You understand?
And Pastor, going back to the question that we had on YouTube from Musi Mister, saying that, can Simpiwe please shed light on why some churches or denominations don't recognize African spiritual practices, viewing ancestors as what they describe demonic?
So I don't think it's a matter of denominations. Again, it's a matter of a worldview. How do you view things? For example, I mean, I'm one of those. I'm coming from that school that we don't believe in I call it ancestral worship. What do I mean by that? I can't say ancestors are demons. Ancestors are not demons. The issue is when you start to worship them. How to worship them when then you have to start to slaughter for them, and then you have to start asking for help from them. It does have things to me that don't make sense, and I'm not trying to mock their religion, but there are things that don't make sense. How it doesn't make sense? I am this person who is very cruel to my kids. I don't do anything for them. And then when I die, the same kids, they come to me and then they ask me that I must help them. Or when I died, I was a very poor person. I struggled all my life until I died. Yes, my kid is coming to me, is asking that I must make him to be successful. Some things that I could not do them myself. Those things to me, they don't make sense. Maybe they can explain how do they work. But I mean, I tend to stray away from such things because they cause a lot of division. But where do I stand in it? My belief is that I don't believe in ancestral worship. I'm not demonizing to say they are demons. Your great grandfathers, they can't be demons.
Yeah.
But the worship, that's where the problem is. And let me explain something for someone who's listening at home.
Yeah.
Someone will say to me, fine, if you don't believe in ancestral worship, how come then my grandfather comes to me at night and then he tells me, he guides me, he tells me that he's, sometimes they will say, in Eastern Cape, yeah, so bayagodola, and then you for bayagodola, then you must go and slaughter and do that, which is also very questionable to some extent, because if bayagodola at that time, they put them in the, what you call, when you die, where do they put you? In the mortuary. They freeze you there in the mortuary for those days. It's come on, everybody will be frozen. But abanye bazogodola. And then when they say balambile, do they eat only once every 3 years? Because you slaughter and then you leave it there, but it's not like they eat every day. It's got things that are questionable. But my issue is, I'm saying that I'm not saying that they are demons, but how do you explain them coming at night and then they're speaking to you? You need to know there is something that we call familiar spirits. What are familiar spirits? Familiar spirits, it's when you get demonic spirits, actually. They come and then they pose as if they are your relatives. They can come looking exactly like your father. Remember, when you read the Bible explains that the serpent was wiser than all the animals that are created. He's able to convert. I mean, if there's something that's called magic, whereby you could be watching and someone can turn into an elephant, I mean, honestly, what is going to make the devil, the spiritual being, not to change himself and look like what you want him to be? So he can come looking exactly like your grandfather and is telling you that you must do these things. And what do they want? Most of the time, they want blood. They want you to slaughter something. It's blood related. I don't believe that is your grandfather who's coming, who's speaking to you. That thing, it just comes and it poses itself as your grandfather. That's why I'm saying I cannot call that ancestors are demons. I don't believe that your great grandfathers are demons. But for me, the worship of it, that's where then the issues start.
Thank you for
and
sharing.
and that is I understand that I'm opening a can of worms, and a lot of like people they probably want to comment and all of that. But I mean, it's very controversial. But these are the views that I stand
you
on.
host.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
shedding some light on that, because now we are heading to the last questions, and we are going to conclude with you. So, speaking of mental health, are young men being groomed to be strong leaders of tomorrow? If not, where is the imbalance, and how can we counter it?
I don't even think they are being groomed to be anything, let alone being leaders of tomorrow. I don't think young. You see, I feel like, why am I saying that? Because most of the things that I do and how my life shaped to be was looking at my dad. Not even what he was saying, but me just watching him. There's so much that I learned from him. Stuff I couldn't learn from my mom. No matter how my mom will be present for me, there's just stuff that I want to learn from my dad. Not necessarily even what my dad's saying, but just watching him doing things. In South Africa, the major problem that we are facing now, we are facing a serious problem of deadbeat fathers. Fathers who are just not there for their kids to guide them. So these kids then, they have to get stuff, they have to learn from their mothers, but most of the time, they need to find their own ways. They learn their own ways. Nobody's guiding them. There is no guidance. So now we see this leadership issue that you're talking about. We see the issues that the kids, and also you need to understand that if you are a child and then you grow up knowing that your father ran away when you were born, some of the things that may come to you, you may blame yourself that my father ran away because of me. And that's something that you see when parents are divorcing also, that the kids, they tend to blame themselves. So some people, not everyone, but some young men, they may grow up with that void in their lives. That space, like, I wish if my dad was alive. That's why then some people, they would, even when they're successful, when they're older, they will still would want to meet their dads. And even if your dad doesn't have much, even if he's poor, but you still just want to see this human being, I mean, this man that is part of me, that was never really part of me. So young men, they need a lot of guidance. Young men, they need a lot of role models, because if there are no role models, there's no guidance, it means that they just do as they please.
Do you think that because we've strayed from that mentality of how we used to live with Ubuntu, which is it takes a village to raise a child, where if ubaba kekho ke umalumu khona, if umaluma kekho maybe another male figure is there.
Yeah.
So do you think because we've strayed away from it takes a village to raise a child, that's why there's no one where you feel like amadoda, even with each other, we can't lead you guys. No, I'm saying we as if I'm a man. Today where you can't lead each other in spaces where you and you call each other out when you are being instead of encouraging, because I need to, like you said, you watch, even just watching your dad, so it doesn't mean everything that you watched him do was correct. Let's say your dad was there, but then he beat your mom. It doesn't mean good now you have to beat you have to now beat women, because that is wrong. Do you understand? So but then now where that village mentality, do you think the fact that we've strayed from ubumbano, like ukubambisana as people, ubuntu, do you think that is where the problem is?
It is a very important point, and if you go to the rural areas, it's still being done. In the rural areas, I mean, you still have your uncles and abubabumncane, I mean, even when young men, for example, they need to go and do circumcision, even if you don't have a father, there's always a male figure to step in
for you,
and is going to help you. But then if you move to the cities, then you're not going to find that. Why are you not going to find that? Because I mean, in the cities, you're trying to live. Life is hard here. I mean, if you've got a space, it's just you and your kid. There's no space for an uncle who's just going to come and sit in the backyard. You probably don't even have a big space for him to stay. So it's just you as a single parent, if you're a lady and you're trying to raise this child. And also, for example, for us in the rural areas, we tend to know each other very well. We know who's who and all of that. But I mean, in the townships and even in the suburbs, even worse in the suburbs, you may not even know your neighbor. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just a person focusing on his life. And I think it's because also people are very busy. You go to work and then you come back, like you're trying to deal with your own kids. If you don't have time to be thinking about the neighbor's kids,
So we know that time is not on our side, and we would like to have this conversation further, but we would like to have Pastor again, on a segment of health and fitness, because you are a doctor.
Not even health, like maybe mental health, mind basket, because you're a neurologist. He specifically deals with neurology, so perhaps you can come for the mind basket.
Definitely looking forward to that. So the last question that I want to ask you, Pastor, is that what program do you run at your church that address career choices and grooming young men?
Okay, so with our church, it's still quite early now, still quite new. So we're still establishing departments. For example, the male department, we just established it like a month ago. And that is basically where we'll be focusing. You've got young men and then we've got older men, and we come together. And we don't come together for church mainly, but we come together basically to empower each other. So we'll have men's breakfast where we'll sit down and then we're going to talk about issues. And then so there are a lot of things that we'll be doing, but it's more like the older ones mentoring the younger ones, basically. So then we'll be trying to bridge that gap. Then even that those ones that may not have role models, even those ones who may not be receiving guidance or any leadership from home, at least when they come to church, they are going to see that they're the male figures who are like fathers to them, and then they are going to guide them.
When someone wants to reach out to you in terms of prayer and medical condition, where can they find you?
All right. I'm available in all social media accounts, basically. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm mainly Dr. Mantlesilo or Simpiwe Mantlesilo. You can look for me in that way. But I for spiritual matters, I always encourage people, come to church on Sunday. Then we'll talk after.
Then we'll talk.
People, they send me, please pray for me, Pastor. Come there, I'll pray for you, unless you can. And then and also for health issues, don't send health issues on inbox because it's difficult. I need to properly examine you. Come to my practice, Flora Hospital or Pinehaven Hospital. If you don't have medical aid, speak to me so that I can direct you to relevant public neurologists who can give you the help that you need.
So Pastor, men's conference is a thing.
It it is a thing, but even though it's a joke, I don't know, people always take it as a joke, but they don't really ever. And also, you see, when men come together,
Yeah.
then talk about sport and talk about politics. Men, they don't like to talk about
personal-
issues
yeah, they
that are
don't.
eating them, you
That's
know.
what-
So it's needed, and for men to open up and for men to heal, because men are bleeding.
Yeah,
and
true,
their guys are
true.
bleeding, and you're bleeding on us.
Wow. So, Pastor Mandla, thank you so much for being here with us. And we hope, to see you next time
Thank you
and
so
sharing some of, the wisdom that you've brought right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much. Thank
Yeah.
you for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
That was Pastor Mandlisilo right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, sharing some light and wisdom, of course, right here on the spiritual alignment. It's a Thursday morning. We still keep going with the interviews and conversation right here in the studio. So what we're going to do is to take a short break, and then when you come back, we're going to welcome our second guest, Ukafu Makafula, a gym instructor who will be joining us and sharing a lot of information that you might need. So let us take a short break. Just stay there, and we are coming back now.
Hey family,
Hi.
My name is Tisiga Mazibugo Shabalala.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
my name is Musi Mist
My name is Ketu Mguni
on the Vooka
Vooka Breakfast Show.
Every weekdays from 7 a.m.
to 10 a.m.
This is where we are going to have our topical discussion featuring various aspects from different fields.
We're going to take care of you and it's going to be amazing, man. Right now I'm on the set of the Vooka Breakfast Show brought to you by the Blink-On Network.
Do not forget to subscribe.
That's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms.
Vooka.
See you there.
My name is Musi Mist.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
Catch us every weekday morning, Monday to Friday between 7 and 10.
Right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blink-On Network.
Always bringing you the best content possible.
Vooka Nati, wake up with us and kickstart your day on a great note.
This is your energetic start to the day. Hey family,
Hi.
My name is Tisiga Mazibugo Shabalala.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
my name is Musi Mist
My name is Ketu Mguni
on the Vooka
Vooka Breakfast Show.
Every weekdays from 7 a.m.
to 10 a.m.
This is where we are going to have our topical discussion featuring
various experts from different fields.
We're going to take care of you and it's going to be amazing, man. Right now I'm on the set of the Vooka Breakfast Show brought to you by the Blink-On Network.
Do not forget to subscribe.
That's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms.
Vooka.
See you there.
Well, yeah, shopping blossom memory. Yes.
Wow. Friends, come along with the Vooka team as time is spent
at the Vision Board and Pizza event out at Curiosity in Maboning,
aimed at promoting positivity, creativity that breeds longevity.
Enjoy tasks like silent reading,
vision boarding, and live performances.
Vooka Breakfast Show brings you all things great and amazing with Sacred Sundays
in collaboration with Mwari Pizza for Vision Board and Pizza.
Welcome back, guys. I hope you're still engaged and tuned in with us here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, because we have our next guest with us right here in studio, Ukhafu Makafula, a personal trainer dedicated and passionate about making your fitness journey just that much more bearable. So now he's about to tell us more about himself and Iyeboge Fitness. Hi, Kafu.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
I'm good, thanks.
So can you tell us a little bit about yourself? So just introduce yourself to our audience and tell them who you are and what you do. Okay. Exactly.
Oh, yeah. So my name is Kafu Makafula. So my brand is Iyeboge Fitness. So I operate mostly at a corporate gym, but I also do house calls and online workouts. So I've been in the industry for about 9 years now. So I started it 2016 in a corporate gym, and ever since then I started personal trainer, group exercise instructor. So I've been doing that ever since.
So, okay, what inspired you to actually become a gym instructor, and what motivates you to continue actually wanting to teach people and motivate them on their fitness journey?
Okay, firstly, being a personal trainer was by chance.
Okay.
Because in 2016 I was unemployed, so I had all the time. So I thought, instead of sitting home doing nothing, let me join a gym. So I joined a corporate gym at Jablan Mall. So I was training twice a day, 6 in the morning and 4 afternoon. Doing that for about 3 months, and then someone noticed me. A fitness manager approached me, told me about the learnership they have, and then I told, yeah, I'm interested. So I went in the learnership, and then a year later I was a qualified personal trainer.
Wow. Okay. I see that we once had a guest here. He was also a personal trainer, and one of his things was also just going to the gym and doing that as a way to just get away from being idle. So I want you to let our viewers know, what is your fitness philosophy, and how do you incorporate that into your classes?
Yeah. Fitness
philosophy.
Yeah, bro. For me, okay, because I have this thing, because as a personal trainer or as I do house calls, if someone calls me at any time, like 10 o'clock at night, you can call me, I will come. Because I believe that if someone calls me and he wants to punch, so it's either he's going to punch a punching bag or he's going to punch someone. So at 10 o'clock, if you call me, I will come. So I'll let you punch a punching bag instead of punching someone.
Yeah, wow. Okay, yeah, no, I see. In actual fact, he is right, because here in his bio, he writes, I'm a passionate and dedicated personal trainer who has been making a significant impact in the fitness industry since 2017. And he quickly became a well-respected figure in the community, not only as a personal trainer, but also as an entrepreneur. So tell me more about that.
Okay. We all know in 2020 there was a lockdown.
Yes.
Gyms were closed for 5 months. So where I work, a corporate gym, when a equipment is torn, they throw it away. When it's old, they throw it away. I used to collect that for what? I don't know.
He says, I don't know.
I don't know.
I think you do.
Yeah, but likely 2020 we had, oh, not likely. But we had a lockdown, gyms were closed for 5 months. And I can tell you now, during that 5 months, I made more money than I ever did.
Doing what?
Because people wanted gym. So for me, because I had all the equipment, I started training, taking videos, posting on social media. And then my friends and everyone wanted that, because gyms, there was no gym anywhere.
So the people would come to your house for this, or how did you offer that? Like, would it be like one-on-one online sessions, or would it be you book an appointment, you come to my house, and I train you right in the comfort of the space that I've created for you?
Okay, as I was saying, during lockdown, I was doing boot camps. So firstly, I was training on my own, taking videos, posting on social media, and then there was an interest. People wanted to come, because people were training on their own without equipment.
Yes.
So I had the equipment. So people used to come to me, we train at a basketball court, and then I'll charge them about 20 rand. So our session is from 6 in the morning till 7:30. It's 1 hour.
For 20 rand?
For 20 rand, yeah. Now, because at that time I was like, lockdown will go back now in a month, 2 months.
Okay.
So I thought, 20 rand, no.
Okay.
Because everyone is not working.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So from there, some they said, we can't come in the morning. I'm available 10. I like 10. I can't do boot camps every time, but I can come to you. House call. So a house call is a bit more pricey than a boot camp.
Yes.
So there are people who want house calls. So everyone, wherever you are around Soweto, I'll drive to you, and then we will do boot camp afternoons or any time of the day. So that's how it grew. And from 2020, I thought after lockdown, people will go back to their gym and everything will back to normal, but it never stopped.
So even now, you're still doing those classes, the boot camps at Umdeni Courts,
Umdeni
Library at the basketball court. Man. So now, speaking of like your classes, how do you design your fitness classes, and what factors do you consider when you create a new routine? So njengoba you say, Anisha, you go to people's houses sometimes when they want house calls. So now, how do you develop new routines with your clients?
So a boot camp is a way of introducing people to fitness. So once you become accustomed to this, and then you see results, and then you want a personal trainer, you want a one-on-one session. So the first thing I sit down with you, we do a consultation. So the first thing I want to know is your lifestyle. Do you stay alone at work? Are you always sitting down, or do you work in a warehouse, you up and down the whole time? So because someone who's in the office sitting down the whole day, I'm not going to train you the same way as someone who's up and down in the warehouse the same way. And then your goals, because people have the same goal, want to lose weight, someone else wants to lose weight, but someone who stays alone can afford to cook whatever. And someone who lives with a family can't afford to cook whatever. So having a consultation helps me know it's okay. Because you are up and down the whole day, already you come to me, you already burns like 300 calories in a day. Low pansy burns nothing. So when you come to me, I know, okay, for you, we'll say maybe 10 push-up, 10 this, and the one that always sitting down will do more. So it helps having a consultation before we have a training session. And again, there are people who want results, who want muscles, who want stuff, and there are people who just want to be fit.
fit. Yeah, that's that's true. So, because like for me, I would want to lose weight, ne?
Yeah.
And I would want to tone.
Yeah.
So, okay, now we are here, and I'm telling you, I want to lose weight and I want to tone. Suggest something for me.
First thing first, when you start to train, you'll lose weight. Whether you're a man, you're a woman, you'll lose weight, you'll burn fat. So that's the first goal. Burn as much fat as we can.
So how are we going to burn the fat? Doing what exercise?
Cardio.
Of course.
Yes.
Okay.
So I know. Most women hate running, hate skipping, hate all that, but
We got it's because of the upper body. This motion, man.
I know. Fitness is uncomfortable. So first thing first, after the consultation, so I write down your personal training program, and then we lose fat. And then let's say our goal is to lose maybe 5 kg.
Okay.
5 kg in the first month, and then from there, then that's where we start toning up. So the thing is, some they worry, they'll still pick up weight, but
Yes.
don't worry, because muscle is more heavier than fat. So the more you train, the more you gain muscle,
Yes.
the heavier you will be.
Ah, that's actually something I wanted to really get into because I used to gym, right?
Yeah.
And then when I was gymming, I had that definition, but okay, I see Stasi, yes. My muscles are forming. But then a lot of people say that once they stop once they stop their wellness journey of like trying to lose the weight, and they gain it more. In actual fact, they gain 2 times more weight than they did when they actually lost it.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's because when you start training, you get the results, you lose everything, every fat. But when you stop, your body, because it's used to maybe doing squats and all that, automatically will miss that, and then will go back. Your
does that muscle you saying because it turns into fat?
Yeah. So it's and again it's different. If you start that big,
yes,
you lose weight, you gain muscle. Want to stop, you gain back. But if someone who has muscle, once they stop training, they lose weight.
Oh yes, that happens because I see that with guys.
Yeah.
He's got the muscles, and then the minute they stop going to the gym, the definition, the muscles gone.
Yeah, and I can what I've noticed with the difference between women and guys, women they wait up until they are comfortable. They wait to buy a 2-piece, whatever, new shoes. But when you see guys will train his skin is a body. So women don't wait to buy
because we want to
a pink, a blue, or what we want to change everything.
Because we want, you know why, ne? I think it's the fact that we're just looking to make it more comfortable for ourselves and to relate to it. Because when I am in there and for me it's something that is coordinated, I'm there, I feel more confident doing it. And now here's my next question to you: what teaching methods do you use to engage and motivate? Because then it speaks to motivation. What motivates? Because for women, maybe that's the motivation. They get it, the motivation to keep going to the gym because now you're by how they look in the 2 pieces. That's where they get their motivation. So when, as a gym instructor, as a personal trainer, what teaching methods do you use to engage Nabo and motivate for the people to keep going and coming or keep going on their fitness journey?
Okay, we all know right now content is everything.
Yeah,
content is everything. So once I've noticed that right now I'm a qualified video editor. I studied video editing, smartphone photography, graphic design, because I know social media management. I've all the certificates. I've studied that. So because I know content is everything. So we take content. So the first 45 minutes I train you, and then the last 15 minutes we take content.
Okay.
We take content. So because I know once we have content to post, you want to come back again and again and again and again. So it is my job that the last 15 minutes we take content. And again, take content. Take content. Comfort is important.
True.
As a woman, because there are women who come to class or come to gym wearing a normal bra.
Yes. And
then,
like I tell you,
and then
upward movement.
on the program where we're skipping and then jumping up and down, it's uncomfortable.
Yes,
and
very.
then there are women who have like small breasts, but they make a problem of not wearing a bra, thinking I'm okay.
Yes.
But when you come to me, first exercise maybe it's a push-up.
Yeah.
So when you lay down, the t-shirt becomes like this, so it's uncomfortable.
Okay.
So with women, so when you come like that, they're like shit. Oh, sorry. Like I have to change a training program. So now I can't do this. Sometimes it's your low cut, whatever. So I can't do squats. Sometimes your leggings are transparent. So now you have to be against the wall so that you become comfortable. So yeah, women need to be aware of how they dress when they come to gym. And again, there's something called knowledge transfer.
Yes.
As a personal trainer, it is my job to teach you everything I know. Everything. Why do we do squats? Why do we do squat like this? Why do we have to run? Why this? What is happening to you? And every month we do body assessment. Like it takes place since I'm a Taylor. So naming now. So I measure your weight.
Oh yes.
I measure your waist every month. I measure your muscles every month. I do fitness test every month. So this month, if you can lift 10 kg, our goal is 2. Maybe next month is 15 kg. So we always every month do a fitness test and see how much weight have you lost, how much muscle have you gained. So it is my job every month. We have to do that. Track progress.
Okay, so now what happens when I sustain an injury? How do you handle injuries and medical emergencies that occur during your sessions?
So that's a good thing about training in a corporate, because in a corporate you're not allowed to touch anyone if your medical aid is expired or if you don't have a medical aid.
Really?
Yeah. So if you don't have a medical aid, you will take it as a learner, someone who's the learners. You can drive, but you need to be someone who's qualified. So now, if my medical certificate is expired, I need someone there. So that whatever happened to you, I am able to treat you. Whether it's a heart attack, because heart attack do happen. Whether it's a heart attack or the muscle tone or whatever. So I'm qualified. I know how to treat most of the injuries.
Yes.
And as a personal trainer, it is my job to monitor you. I can't be training you while looking the other way. So I'm monitoring you, the squat, and there is something called perceived exhaustion rate.
Okay.
By looking at you, I need to tell like you are struggling. It is my job.
And I struggle when we exercise. If we, I think I want you to just, you'll take me through just a light exercise routine that you would do just for a beginner thing, right? Right here in studio, right? But now, you see, you will notice me. I struggle. I had a fitness trainer here, and hey, I was struggling. So I'm glad that you say that you do gauge by it's a perceived exhaustion rate. Because I mean, as beginners, I think beginners need more assistance and more push. So when they are tired, you need to also gauge with maybe this exercise that I'm making them do in your like alga. Fitness it's not there yet, and those kind of things. So Mina, I want to know, Uguti, how do you stay current when it comes to fitness trends? Because like you said, we're living in a digital age, social media, content creation, and I'm glad that you said that you went to actual school to now study all of that, because now that's how maybe you are diversifying when it comes to your own personal training service that you provide. So now, but I want you to just tell our viewers, Ugutiwena, how do you stay current with what's happening, the latest fitness trends and research? Because I mean, research is always getting updated when it comes to I think when it comes to banting, I know Uguti, your blood type, things like blood types play a role in your fitness and how and also when you're trying to lose weight, how quickly or how slowly you lose weight, things like that. So how do you stay current with all of that?
So that's another advantages of working in a corporate gym, because in a corporate gym, you need to do continuous training programs.
Okay.
So you get like minimum, you need to have 21 points to continue to the next year. So every year I need to take maybe 4 courses. It could be any course, could be spinning, could be swimming or whatever. So the number one trend right now, and been a trend for the past 3 years, fitness. So everyone.
Oh, yes, watches,
everyone uses
Fitbits
watches.
and all those.
You know, Apple Watch,
Smart
Samsung
watches,
Watch.
Fitbits.
So right now, I understand everyone. So if you come to me, and I'm not using Apple, but if you're wearing an Apple Watch, I understand. Before we train, I program. So if you're doing treadmill, I know how to program your watch. If you come with the Huawei or Fitbit, I know. So it is my job to go out there and study all.
Yeah, like the AI tools as well.
I know them all.
You know the app. So speaking of which which ones would you recommend for someone right now, ne? Who wants to start their fitness journey, but it maybe is not really sure where to start. Like what apps and tools would you recommend people use to like track their fitness journey?
To track, okay, it is best to track your fitness journey one-on-one.
Okay.
So you don't necessarily have to train with me.
Okay.
But you can do a consultation with me. You can sit down every month. I do an assessment. I do a fitness trainer, and then I know for you, do 8 push-ups. After 8 push-ups, do 10 squats. I write a training program for you, and then from there you train on your own.
Okay.
You come back next month. We do an assessment. We change training program, and then we see, okay, personal squat. Let's do a squat, but let's change lunges. Let's change everything. So necessarily you don't have to do one-on-one with personal trainer, but consultation, it is important, because if you do it on your own, you go on Google and then you do a research about losing weight. They don't show you the right technique.
Yeah.
Of doing a squat, of doing a push-up. On the program, it might say 10 push-up, but when you do it on your own, you can't.
Personal touch also. There's something about just having, like you said, that person in
you know, there are exercises I can replace a squat with. There are exercises I can replace running with. Maybe you can't run, you can do skipping. And there are days where it is a leg day, but you are tired. I know, okay, after leg day, you can't do leg today and then run tomorrow. After leg day, let's do upper body. And then women, they avoid upper body. I don't know why. So they think, I don't want to look like a man, but...
No, it's not a sense. I wouldn't... It's not a sense good to me. Okay, for me. Let me speak for me, because now... me also, you know, I want to... I'm also somebody who currently is dabbling in trying to get more fit, but I haven't really committed, guys, so don't hold me to this. But you know, I'm somebody who's still dabbling. I would. My upper body, it would be because of my back, you know, big back. You know, I don't want to be big backed, you know, having these, I'm a love handles, upper body love handles, and these right here, and as well as, you know, your Lana would want to goodbye. So I don't want to when I wave to you, then I have this thing. As well as of course the core of course, and women, we all want a snatched waist. So when I get, you know, all these stories I can see, I know that you meet a lot of people as a fitness trainer. You meet a lot of different people. So what is the most memorable or rewarding memory that you have, or experience that you have as a gym instructor or a personal trainer?
Yeah, it's a lot, because in a corporate gym you meet well-known people like celebrities. So because that's where they train.
Yes.
All of them. So I would say my memorable one was training a celebrity for the first time. It was something Soweto. So first celebrity, that was a memorable one. And again, where I'm situated now, Bafana use that gym.
Really?
So every now and then, those guys.
Nice, Belengise. Gase, you need to give me a pass or something so I can come there and maybe like for a gym session, just so that I can see the kind of people that you deal with also and see what you do really in real time right there and see what you really do. So Abu Bafana and who else?
And another memorable one was moving to Elenisa. I went there to work for about 3 months.
Yeah.
So it was something for me because of the culture, of their belief, which I can't talk to a woman.
You can't talk to a woman because?
Their religion.
Oh yeah. Yes,
so
Islam.
For me, it was something else.
No, yes.
So yeah, I had to learn that they have their own, like it's a gym but separated into two. So it was memorable for me that I can't go left, I can't look, no man can. So
okay.
That was memorable for me.
So so your move to Lenasia, that one that's where the gyms are separated into male and female because of the Islam obviously faith.
Yeah. So yeah, it has been my goal, because I started at Chablane. From Chablane, I went to Constantia Lands. It was my Gucci, I want to know everyone. Black dominated, white dominated, Indian dominated, colored dominated. I learned a lot about these different races, cultures, and everything. And like Gucci, I don't grow in that way.
Yeah, guys, he is telling the truth. And I want to read just a little bit from his bio here. So in addition to his work with Iyeboge Fitness, he has garnered recognition for his expertise, including being selected as a judge at one of the country's premier annual CrossFit competitions called The Battle. And this role, he says, has allowed him to witness and evaluate some of the most skilled athletes, further sharpening his eye for proper technique and perform in high intensity workouts. So Mina, what I also want to know is, like, when it comes to your theme, when it comes to fitness, when you are exercising someone, do you prefer to play music? Or is it just what kind of things do you incorporate into your fitness routines that make it perhaps more fun for like the people that you are exercising?
It is best, especially if you're doing house call.
Yeah.
It is best to have you play your own music.
Yes.
So it is not my playlist.
Yes.
It is your playlist. So that you are comfortable. And with cooperative, obviously, you can't play your own music. So I try to find our little corner where we always train, where you always comfortable, and then we train there.
Okay, speaking of training, we are about to do just a little bit of he's gonna demonstrate how he, would train a beginner like myself. We're going to demonstrate, just do a little bit of a fitness routine, or just a little bit of exercises right here. Stay tuned for that. We are going to take just a little bit of a break, and then we'll come back with Ukafu Makafula Angvota giving me some much needed exercise.
Friends, come along with the Vooka team as time is spent
at the Vision Board and Pizza event out at Curiosity in Maboneng,
aimed at promoting positivity, creativity that breeds longevity.
Enjoy tasks like silent reading,
vision boarding, and live performances.
Vooka Breakfast Show brings you all things great and amazing with Sacred Sundays
in collaboration with Mwari Pizza for Vision Board and Pizza.
Well, yeah, Sugar Blossom Emily. Yes.
Wow.
You wish it was you.
Welcome back. I am still with our personal trainer and gym instructor Ukafu Makafula from Yeboge Fitness, and he's about to tell or show me rather how things get done with Yeboge Fitness. With just a couple of demonstrations we're going to do for you for some squats and some lunges. So I hope you guys right there at home are ready to see me in action with Ukafu. Like he said, he's got exhaustion perception rate. Like you saw me previously trying to do exercises on this show. Hi guys, but yeah, let's get into it. How many reps are we going to do? How are we gonna, because I'm a beginner, right?
Yeah.
So like I said to you, I'm somebody who, if I would be, on my fitness journey, I would want to lose weight and gain definition, toning. And obviously now it's squats and lunges. So how many would we do for a beginner like myself?
Okay, for everyone, standard reps is 10.
Okay.
Let's keep it simple, 10 reps.
Okay.
So first exercise is a squat. So squat, when you start, your ankles must be in line with your shoulders.
Okay.
So your out ankles, so some they stand like this.
Yeah.
So I line your ankles with your shoulders.
Make sure I'm standing properly.
So close.
Okay.
Sharp.
Okay.
So, and again, so one thing, you go down. When you go down, you push your hips back and then down.
Okay.
So, and then when you go down, make sure that your
This one
chest
stays up.
stays up. You don't look down. And then the last thing, your knees don't go over your toes. Don't go over your toes. So your heels always down.
Okay.
So let's try to push your hips back and then down. Looking up, let's go.
Okay.
1, up, 2, 3, 4, let's go. 5 more. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Rest. Okay. One thing I've noticed, which is everyone does it.
Okay.
So is that when they go back, they lock their knees.
Okay.
So you don't lock.
Okay.
So you go down and come back up straight. Try not to lock.
Oh, I mustn't.
Yeah.
Oh,
not
okay.
there. Let's go. Let's do 3.
Okay.
3 reps.
Okay.
Try
Okay.
not to lock.
Okay.
Ready? Let's
Okay.
go. 1, 2. Perfect.
Okay. Okay.
Perfect. So
Okay.
that are things you need to remember.
Okay.
Next, is the
Lunges.
lunge.
Okay.
Lunge. Your forward leg always straight.
Okay.
And then your back leg on your toes. So same with the squat. So one thing even our viewers need to know, when you lunge, your knees, your hips and your shoulders always straight.
Okay.
And then your it's always 90 degree. Always, it's a box.
Okay.
That's the target.
So it should.
So let's go down and make sure you have a box.
Okay,
in
like
between.
this.
Always 90 degrees. And then your shoulder, your hips, your knees are up straight.
Okay. Okay.
And then let's go up.
And then I go up.
That's your step.
Oh no! Lunges, oh my word. Okay, okay.
Perfect.
But okay, okay.
And then, but when you go down, don't go all the way down. So you go down as comfortably as you can.
Okay, so it must be up to my comfort.
Yeah, but if in the stance you're not comfortable, you are allowed to go back.
Okay.
So it's all about comfort.
Okay. Okay, dogs, let me do 10 reps then.
So let's
Guys,
do
are
5.
you ready?
Let's do 5.
Okay,
5 on the left, 5 on the right.
Okay, cool.
Ready?
Okay.
Let's go.
1.
Yep. 2. 3. 4. 5. Change side. Okay, before we change side, another thing people need to know is counting.
Okay.
You count after completing a rep.
Okay.
So if you lunge.
1. Oh.
So you don't count while halfway.
Okay.
So you complete a rep, that's
Then
a 1.
you count. Okay.
Yeah. Let's go. 5 reps again.
Okay.
Let's go down. 1, 2, 3 more.
I'm so bad with this leg, okay?
3 more. 2 more. Last one. Well done. and it happened to everyone.
Yes.
Like your left might be stronger to
it's stronger than my right.
And then it is my job to make sure that they're both strong.
All
so
right.
if your right is stronger than your left, I'll try to do more reps on the weaker side so that it balances.
Well, there you have it from Ukafu Makafula from Yebo Fitness. Fitness. I don't know, maybe he might be able to, give you something to look forward to from the Vooka Breakfast Show. If you inquire with him, we will have that perhaps on our social media platforms. So do engage with us on all our social media platforms. It's hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Vooka with VOOKA Breakfast Show. Engage with us and obviously subscribe, set your notifications. Do all the necessary things that need to be done so you and I can always engage with each other. Thank you so much.
No.
I am very unfit. But I look forward to perhaps, visiting you at Mjeni Library and seeing the amazing work that you do. And thank you so much for being with us today.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Where do we find you?
Okay, so for everyone who wants to inquire, everywhere, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, even LinkedIn, just search for Kafu Makaful.
There you have it.
Or Yeboge Fitness. I have both accounts.
Okay, Yeboge Fitness, it's Yeboge Fitness, it's Kafu Makafula, Kafu spelled with a C. Please spell your name because maybe they thinking KHA because I thought at first KHA because it's Kafu.
Kafu.
So Kafu, please spell your name for them.
Kafu, how they spell it is Charlie Angel Foxtrot Uniform. CAFU.
He even knows the military alphabet. So you know what? This gym instructor will give you value for your money when you inquire for his services. So guys, do support Yeboge Fitness. And yeah, that is all from me right here at the Health and Fitness Corner. We will be back after the break. Yeah.
27 minutes past 10. It is the time right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. And that was Kafu Makafula, the fitness instructor and a gym instructor, for lack of a better word. Right there, no TC, man. A very beautiful conversation they had. And I hope that you guys learned a lot right there, because definitely there's something that you need to take. And he mentioned some of the things, man. Guti, sometimes by looking at you, I have to tell you, Guti, when you are struggling. You are struggling when
exhaustion perception rate. he gauges your exhaustion perception rate, and he's like, this one, she will get tired after 10. After 5, she will need motivation. Like, I'm okay.
It's not the one. Yeah, but a very interesting story, man, from him. Which he was unemployed and joined a gym in Jabulani Mall.
Yeah.
You know, and that is very inspiring for people who right now are not employed. And
I remember Totezi, what's his name? Thabo Totezi. Tabi Sototezi did the same thing and then all of a sudden Black Child Rise was born. And you know, I mean, I guess, you know, it's about perception. How do you perceive the struggles that you go through? Yeah,
definitely some of the things that we go through right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. And we had 2 guests who were joining us here and making the lineup. The first one was Dr. Mandlesilo, who is a pastor, right, sharing information and wisdom. And also he is a doctor, and we'd like to have him back in the show to share more, man, about you know, health-wise, mental health-wise. And also while he was here, Musi was commenting here, and then the comment reads as follows: I still stand by the notion that these things should start at an early childhood. Kids should get to high school at least having an idea of what they are good at. Not every child is meant to go into science. And then Musi comes back and say, also our schools have lost touch with prayer and spirituality. What role is the church playing in instilling a sense of being grounded and strong in prayer? And then very cool stuff, man. Big up to Dr. Mandlesilo. And we saw that comment from Hector Takalana. Can the technical team fix the picture? So we'd like to apologize for the glitches that you guys have been having today. And our technicals have been working very hard to solve the problem behind the scene. But now, because as promised that later we were going to be joined by Ubanele Mngci right here, you know, to speak about what we call the migration. So a lot of people, when I had this thing, the analog switch off, they call it the digital migration thing, so that people can buy the decoders and things like that. So you'll be talking about analog TV spectrum, the shift to digital. So definitely more information, has to be shared on that, and an update is needed, of course, just to know, Guti, how far are they, man, on switching off, because some people are still using Ariel, and there was another checkpoint, interview that spoke to how other broadcasting companies are going to lose, business, as some of them, they survive on advertising. So when you switch off analog, what does that mean for us?
Yes.
But joining us here is Obanele is going to be, tell us more about that, man. Good morning, my good son. How are you doing?
Morning, Mo. Hi, TC.
Hi.
Yeah.
Good morning to everyone at home.
Yeah, definitely, man. Once again, welcome back to the Vooka Breakfast Show. We know that we like having you here, man, especially for consumer tech segment, right?
100%.
So, yeah, there is a concerning issue right now, which is the shift to digital, and analog. It's getting switched off. So what are the latest details and what is going on?
Well, you'll be shocked to learn that this is something that started more than 2 decades ago. And over the years, there's been talks about transitioning to digital TV or the digital spectrum. But, I mean, we are far behind. Countries like Brazil, Canada, the United States, they're all using digital signal for all things broadcasting. So in SA, we still have that challenge because in terms of supporting legacy tools, we can't just make the transition just like that, because as it stands right now, there's about 4.5 million users in South Africa that still make use of that TV we saw at Curiosity. Yeah. And as much as one can say, look, this does not necessarily apply to me because you probably have DSTV or one of the other satellite TVs from ETV. For a majority of South Africans, they're still using analog signal. Now, I'm just going to take a step back and break down what the spectrum is, what are the limitations, and why the push for that we should go to digital TV. So the simple way to explain this is that with analog signal, it uses radio waves. And with radio waves, you can only fit so much inside a given spectrum. Hence, when we listen to radio, we have frequency from, I think, 8 something up until 106 megahertz, right? And we can't fit anything. So if you wanted to start a radio station today, you would have to explore the either having a station online, but in as far as having a radio station that makes use of frequency. It's taken up, right? So you would have to try and apply to ICASA so that they can grant you the spectrum. And yes, you could get it in some areas in as far as local spectrum is concerned, but it still makes use of the same frequencies that are used throughout the entire country. That is why for anyone that's starting a local radio station or TV station, they will assign them those spectrums, but it can't go beyond that area, because it will then clash with the other ones. You would have seen that yes, Metro Metro FM is available in Cape Town and Durban, but they use a different frequency, right? Because spectrum is limited and you can only fit so much. So the push to digital basically allows more programming, more channels to be introduced so that more people can have options and all of that. And I think as a country, I mean, DSTV has been around for quite some time, and we are able to browse and find programming that we want to watch. So just think of a future where with SABC, and I'm talking about programming that the government is giving us as people. Remember, in terms of news, politics and information, weather, it is the citizens' right to have access to information. So that's the other reason why they are a little bit reluctant on switching off the analog signal altogether. Right. So with digital, it means more programming. And I think for me, I would like to see a future where us as a radio station or other small radio stations, TC, they will be able to have a place inside the SABC that the viewers can find them on, because now there's more bands or there's more space for programming to take place. Now the SABC, it's not that they are not on the digital spectrum, they actually are. So they're doing both analog and digital. The analog is just there so that everyone has to get access to news and programming and etc. But if you buy a modern TV, you are able to make use of the digital spectrum right now. And you probably would have seen that when you search for channels, it's not like the old one where it shows you that black and white screen where it's like noise, right? So yes, you can get SABC 1, 2, 3. You can get SABC News running 24/7. I think there's SABC Education. There's SABC Sports Encore. And my issue here is that yes, they are on the digital spectrum, but there was talks back then, maybe even 10 to 5 years ago, where they were talking about introducing more channels because we were experiencing, programming where they are repeating programs on a regular basis. And the only thing that they've introduced is the legacy SABC where they're playing, old.
SABC Plus.
Yes, the content and all of that. So, yes, SABC is keeping up with the trends. They are still supporting the analog. They do have digital. And when it comes to online streaming, because this is where most of us are enjoying our programming, they do have the SABC app, which comes at no cost as well. So you can also download the app on either the Play Store or the Apple iOS store. Download SABC Plus, and you can watch SABC 1, 2, and 3. So if you are a football lover, and I'm talking about obviously sports that plays on SABC, like your local football, right?
Yes.
You will be able to watch that. But obviously, ETV is a separate thing altogether, right? Yeah. So another thing that would aid towards switching off the analog signal, funny enough, is broadband internet. Now, the difference between radio waves and Wi-Fi is that with Wi-Fi, it can only travel a short distance, but with these radio waves, they are able to penetrate through walls. So, in these countries where they have successfully converted from analog to digital, what they have done is they didn't completely switch it off and call it legacy technology, but they use that as broadband technology where you are able to receive internet even in the most remote areas. Now, right now, if you're in the rural area with the analog signal, you can watch TV. But imagine being able to access what they call white space, broadband white space, where you are able to have access in the most remote areas possible. So it's more like broadband. It's not that fast, but you still have access to internet, and it's cheaper because the infrastructure is already there and it's already built in. So some of these countries, they're already making use of that. Way in Canada, if you're not in the cities and you're not connected through, your latest 5G, 4G, they are making use of white space, which is the same signal, but they've just repurposed it for internet purposes. So there's benefits why we should move, but at the same time, we understand that it's everyone's right to have access to news, weather, and updates. However, there is that pressing need for us to jump ship.
Jump ship.
I mean, we are in the fourth industrial revolution.
Because it also, goes back to the impact. As much as now in the rural areas, they have access to the internet and things like that. They were speaking about awareness. As much as the government kept on postponing, like the switch off, I think it was supposed to happen last year. Last year it was supposed to happen, and they suspended. But now on I think it's only 4 provinces left now that have the analog. So how many provinces?
It's still the entire country. Now, some of the provinces, they have gone into trial phases of using the white space for broadband, but it's only a select frequency. So, for example, in the Western Cape and Cape Town, they've already started trials where they are using the analog signal as a means of propagating Wi-Fi throughout the entire remote areas. And just also on that, as much as, yes, we do have a lot of connectivity here, trust me, in the rural areas, it's bad. It's really bad. Yeah.
Tippy song is also bad. Connectivity, there's no
I was referring to Tippy.
But now we know that this has a lot of impact on a lot of people. But for someone who's like, I don't want extra channels, guys. I'm good with 4 channels. Okay. So what is the approach to those kind of people, especially in the rural areas? So like, no, we good with only, SABC 1 up until SABC 3 and ETV and Soweto TV. Like, we are good. So what is the approach to those people? Is there any solution for them?
When people refuse to change over.
No, there was a solution, and this one was also pushed by the government, that you can apply to get a TV box. So in other words, you don't have to purchase a new television set altogether, but you can apply and get subsidized, well, depending on your profile. So for example, your pensioners, they will automatically get it. But for others, then they can subsidize it, and you can pay a certain fee in as far as getting that TV box, and you don't have to replace your television set altogether. So it's more of an option that you will have more channels, but you will also, if you choose to stick to the 4, you can absolutely do that. So some of the benefits is obviously when we think of DSTV, you can get a program guide and you can see shows that are upcoming, right? It can be also interactive. And depending on the TV box that you get or the ones that will be designed in future, it will also offer the ability, the same as a DVR, where you can record programming. Yep. So if you miss the news, it means that if you have the right device, you'll be able to record the news and you can watch it back later. So it's like on-demand television, but coming through for the entire country. And the main concern from people is that obviously there is TV license that because this is digital, it becomes much easier for the government, for SABC, ICASA and the likes to regulate programming, and if whether or not, if you didn't pay your TV license, you will be, I don't think you'll be suspended. I don't think so, because it is your right to have access to information. And just, when doing research for this, people that watch, the Xhosa news, right? We're looking at 1 million. And last I checked, even with your Generations and these other programs, they still sit in the millions. So there's a lot of people that are watching it. So imagine 1 million people not being able to gain access to a weather alert that there will be a flood. So we're talking, people's lives and people being potentially compromised. Their livelihoods being compromised. So it's I get it. At the same time, it's like, yes, we are moving slow, but I understand. I understand that we still have to make sure that everyone doesn't be left behind.
So do you still know if you can if those are being, I mean, most post offices are being closed, those TV boxes? I remember you were supposed to go to the post office to go and apply for it. So do you know if the post offices are still taking applications for the TV boxes? And
so there hasn't been much talks about it, but there was a cutoff date.
I remember,
for the first one, right? So there hasn't been any talks that there is a new or new dates that have been put forward. But I mean, the plan was that the spectrum would be switched off March 31st, right? So there wasn't any talks about if you missed the deadline. And I think for any other thing in the country, we would have seen that in the past, whenever there has to be a major shift, we've seen that there's these dates that they set, and there will be the first wave of people that sign on, but there has to be some leeway or leniency that's made for the rest that will eventually catch up. But at the moment, there hasn't been any talks with regards to that.
So another question that I've always wanted to ask, because I think I didn't understand when I saw your likes of your Top TV, were they under multi-choice or it was a different thing?
So we're talking satellite TV.
Satellite TV.
Hashtag digital TV. So SABC is looking at moving into satellite TV, digital TV, the same way where with DSTV, as kids growing up, during the holidays, you would find new channels.
Yes, they open up just like those pop-up channels.
Pop-up channels. So it gives SABC the same ability to have pop-up channels. But your Top TVs and the ETV one, right?
Open View,
Yeah, so these are all digital satellite broadcasting.
So they are competitors to DSTV.
Top TV was a competitor to multi-choice DSTV, but again, in terms of consumer behavior, there were certain things that they wanted that they could not get. So I know with my dad, he loves football. So if Top TV, I mean, it can have the best movies. Because in terms of licensing content, they can license it for movies without an issue. But when it comes to sports and live television, there are still exclusive deals that are being made that only us or only Super Sports has the right to broadcast international football or even the PSL or something like that. So if they don't have that licensing, then it becomes very difficult. So people want what they want, and they are willing to pay for it. The same way we were discussing the other day that the reason why DSTV Compact and Compact Plus seem to be the ones that are bringing in most of the money is because of live television. Sports.
The football people just still want sports.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely, man. Right now people are still fighting to, I think there was a petition that the SuperSport, they were asking SuperSport to have a separate channel for only sports. But they were like, we can't. We need to put it in this package because if we do that, we are in a mess. But it's interesting, man. It's interesting in this whole thing, the digital migration, because there was a conversation behind it that people were like, no, this is a deal, between the government and MultiChoice so that they can get more subscribers. People can now migrate to watching DSTV and paying DSTV, even though the gap is so huge. A lot of people are not working. So how and when are they going to get the money? So in terms of advertising, they are planning to say, no, with that migration, when that decoder comes, just give them a little bit of what they're missing out so that a lot of people can also come and subscribe to DSTV. So somewhere, somehow, the conversation is like, this is more of, business type of thing.
It's funny because even the implementation though of that, that digital migration, my mom's neighbor, right? An old lady, applied for that TV box thing when they started introducing that, guys, we're going to switch off analog, but they only installed hers last week. They came to install that thing. It's because it comes with a satellite dish. They only came last week. But she applied for it when they started this Wuti, which was then, when was it? The cutoff was last year. So that means they would have started to start the application system the year before that. You understand? She applied the year before, but they only.
I mean, there's various reasons why that can take place because I remember there was a tender opportunity to install these TV boxes, and with fraud and corruption, it does slow things down, right? Where you'll find that the original price for that kind of a setup, including installation, was a set amount. And I remember on the briefing they spoke about, being able to install X number of units per day. Right, so that affected the entire process rollout as well. So there's various factors why that that could have happened. But look, I'm glad that year by year we are inching closer. And I think for me as a prediction, I think only in 2027 can we fully say. Right.
I think you're still even being ambitious there. 2027, isn't that too early still?
2027.
I feel like you're being ambitious. Yeah, I have seen.
80.
That's how slow it's going.
44.
That's how slow it's going.
It's there.
It's happening.
It's there. There's still analog. There is satellite, and there's also online streaming from the SABC. So it's there.
Yeah.
But in terms of the benefits of using that spectrum, maybe it can be opened where there's more local radio stations now. Right.
So like in terms of being evolved and just getting ourselves into the space of migration and enjoying the content that we are being given, so I just want to know, like what good does digital migration serves or will serve, in the future for the citizens or for a country in general?
I think the work that you and I are doing right now, right? So, yes, people love the SABC, but they're also looking for that alternative view. And if they can find us on one of the channels inside SABC, then that will be good for them. Because remember, in order for people to make use of YouTube as well as these online platforms, they have to make use of data. But if they are using satellite, although it is programmed, but they still have the option of saying, look, at 3 o'clock, I can always catch the guys. And there is small traces of that happening, but I think this one is purely for marketing purposes and, trying to keep the TV space alive. MacG, MacG and some of these YouTube podcasters, they will be on TV.
Yes,
right?
I was about to say, what do you think about that? How do you think that's progressive, or is it just going to hinder the growth or the freedom that content creators have by putting a lot of red tape or perhaps restricting them a lot?
Yep. I mean, it's interesting because there's MacG in terms of language that they use on the show.
I was wondering.
I was shocked with the one
broadcasting commission. Uguti, how are they going to? Or do they not govern DSTV?
No, there is. There is. I mean, even from back then, one would have to put an age restriction on certain programming. So, and it depends on the time of the day as well. I mean, you grew up watching Emmanuel.
Who?
You.
Hey, don't put me.
Who is Emmanuel?
Who's Emmanuel?
No, there's
it's a program.
Christian, there's a Christian called Emmanuel TV. So there has, in fact, I think on TV there are stricter regulations as opposed to online. But I do think that even with YouTube, the same restrictions are enforced, but not as regulated. Because when creating a YouTube account, and this is something I was just telling a group of people that I was training in as far as creating Gmail accounts for your kids, that if you create an account using your date of birth, it means tomorrow when they need to access content that is for a mature audience, because YouTube looks at the date of birth to determine how old you are, it means your kids will have access to that content, right? So I think with the guys coming on to television, yes, there will be some restrictions, but I do think it's also a good thing because television now realizes that this is where our eyeballs are, right? And in terms of advertisers, again, rather than having... Excuse me. So rather than having the cash moving towards us, they would rather try and still keep us in the same space. So maybe it's them reacting, right? Maybe it's them reacting, but we'll see.
Yeah. So, lastly, man, your thoughts about this whole digital migration. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Because some people are like, "Aish, guys, man, it's right, man, it's scheme some."
I think he answered that, didn't he? He did.
No.
Like your thoughts in general of, do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
So you know what I've learned, Mo, that sometimes we think that what we are exposed to, everyone knows about. So there are people that really, really love Skim Sam, and no, it's fine. It's fine. It's all good. But if they were to see some of the stuff that's out there, they can easily fall in love with it. And at the same time, it is something that's good, but I've seen personally that we are creating a problem of having choice or options, because it takes me 30 minutes to decide which movie I want to watch, right? But back then, whatever programming that was served, I loved it. But I mean, times have changed. So I do think that it's a good thing. But props to SABC in this sense that, yes, they are still on analog, they are on digital, and it's working. And also with SABC Plus, you can stream online. So you've got the best of everything.
Yeah, definitely. That's all from the analog TV spectrum. It's time for you to get rid of that aerial. You know,
I don't watch TV.
Get rid of the aerial, man, because now the shift to digital is, becoming real. And definitely it will be nice, to see other people getting information from outside the world, because we will be learning about what other people are doing outside of SA. But that is where we're going to end it right here. 2 minutes till we hit 11 o'clock. You're still watching the Vooka Breakfast Show. That's where we're saying a goodbye, sayonara. We're going to see you again tomorrow. Same place, same time, 7 a.m. up until 10 a.m. From me, Moketi Maimane, aka Max for maximum temperature, the son of Mother Nature. Generator. I am going to see you tomorrow morning right here. Ciao, ciao. TC.
Oh, yes, Mavuga Amahle. Thank you so much for staying with us until the end. If you are still watching, thank you for being a supporting structure to what is an amazing show. And do continue to engage with us everywhere on our social medias and share your thoughts. And tell a friend to tag a friend on all our content. And from me, UTC, Gamazibugo Shabalala, your prime cut creative and your positivity dose of the day, I am saying, see you tomorrow.